This is better. Hey guys, how's it going?
Okay, how's everybody doing?
It's funny, I put my headset on, but I didn't plug it in.
Wait, hello there, everyone.
That's a little bit better. Yeah, looks like everybody's here except for... Oh, I guess Alikov's still ticking away. Yeah, because of the week off, I'm having a hard time remembering what happened last time. Yeah.
I know. I know that last time we had negotiated a peace treaty.
Ah, that's right.
Of sorts. Kazuko had managed to make contact with the Quay, and we managed to go through the rituals and such, and now the colonists are now making their first step. Well, the colonists on that little colony that we found are making the first steps of living in peace with them. And that's kind of like where we left off. We were just all watching.
Yeah, kind of loose ends were getting tied up a little bit.
Or more created.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you pretty much were all on your ship then. And I think we had talked a little bit about this is going to be great because there's going to be like less action and you guys can actually like talk about all the crap that has happened so far. So yeah, I guess we'll just we'll jump right into it. Go. You're on the ship. Be ageless.
Okay, well, first thing
much needed sleep.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, Longbeard continues to sleep since you guys knocked him out and put him in bed.
Oh, that's right. The last things we did.
So do you want to play the doctor while he's sleeping?
Okay, yeah, I'll play. I will play, was it Colt? Colt.
Mm-hmm.
Colt is just in the med bay, just going through, doing a bunch of research and going through all the DNA he collected. He kind of gave you to the captain of cursory, if you need me, blah, 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 and he walked down the hallway and disappeared down into the med bay.
As far as I remember from the summary, we have no pressing where somebody's going to die if we don't fix this problem right now, because we dealt with the Quay, right?
Yes, there's some much needed downtime.
Yeah, for once, yeah.
For once,
As far as we know.
Okay.
Had we gotten all the kinks out of the translation equipment, or is that still being worked on?
Well, Long had to be sedated, so...
I was in the process of it. Though if you look on the ground, there should be a blinking data pad that I dropped when I got down.
Okay. Okay.
And when you pull it up, you see that all those questions you thought that I was being insane actually worked, and it did actually translate the Quay language for me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, all right. Brilliant.
Theo's going to be, let's see, what's he going to be doing now? Actually, he's going to head down and try to finish up repairs on the smaller vessel that on our original one inside the Ageless. He's going to finish that up.
Are you going to have your little bots helping you as well?
Yeah, I'm going to have like those small little nanobots. Well, not really nanobots, but I'm going to have the small little bots help me. I will just say a general message. If you need me, I'll be down in the docking bay.
Okay, Kazuko will be categorizing as much information as he can that's been gathered from the language, and document all of this and see if he can, like, just in case anything happens, it can be used by anyone else who stumbles upon this information.
So you're basically making like a lexicon and.
Yep. There you go.
Okay.
Yep. He'll be doing that.
How about Bryce? What's Bryce up to?
I think he's going to go back to the original ship. It's the Terrasso, is it?
Yes.
I always mess up the name. Okay. And he's going to probably be seeing what state the cogs left his quarters in. And if he needs to, he's going to be working on reconstructing the Faraday cage he used to have. So that eventually he can sleep. So he'll probably use the 3D printer for that.
Yeah, there's probably some mangled parts here and there, but yeah, it shouldn't be very hard to replace them.
So it's basically busy work time for Bryce while he thinks about other things.
Kind of sounds like that's what everyone is doing, just taking care of their chores.
Yeah. I would be going to find, if we have anyone that is a swordsman here, which I don't know if we even do, other than me, would be trying to find a sparring partner, because last time, from what I remember that I used a sword in this game, I somehow had developed like super Kizun powers of slowing down time and being and stuff. So I've done katas. I would like to just trying to in character get a handle on. Suddenly I've developed sword related powers and I want to understand them.
So why don't you do that in character? Who do you talk to first?
I don't know. I mean, the only other Ganjin is Long, and I'm not sure if I've like ever seen Long with a sword or anything, because in terms of him fighting, he just rips people's heads off. Yeah, and I know Kazuko just punches things if he fights at all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, your character doesn't know, so he should go ask.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, then I will go ask Long. We'll try and find wherever he is. I don't remember if.
Well, you weren't here, but they actually medicated me, knocking me out cold, because I hadn't slept for like 85 hours.
All right, then I need to wait for you to wake up first.
Yeah.
So, and I probably need sleep too, because I slept a little on the planet, but between all the weirdness that happened at the club with all the whatever weird chemicals were involved, and then stressful situation after stressful situation, I need more sleep probably, so I will go do that.
When Theo sees Bryce entering into the ship, he'll look over at him and go, "Hey, Bryce, are you thinking about heading back over to that alien vessel?"
To be honest, there's some stuff. Now that it's not exactly an urgent matter, there's some stuff I was hoping to tend to around here rather. I need to repair some things in my quarters.
Oh, yeah. I've been working on that, too.
How much of your stuff got messed up?
Theo, then you just see him just toss, like, broken hollow posters everywhere and all kinds of stuff. He's like, he has this long sigh on his face as he goes, just practically everything, just about. What an awful, awful method of boarding someone's ship.
Bryce sort of squints at one of the hollow posters and says, "Who is that?"
Oh, this one? Oh, this is Miss, let me see here. The name's a little blurry. This is Miss Pluto. Yeah. That's the current, solar issue, number 705.
Well, impeccable taste there.
Oh, I know, right? It's just, I was very close to getting her autograph one day.
You know she's half plastic.
Still, you can't judge that.
I suppose.
It doesn't matter now. Most of it's already destroyed. Tosses it to the ground. If you do see little tiny machines roaming about in there, don't worry. It's those are just some bots that I created to help speed up repairs.
Right. Are they the same ones from when we were trying to dislodge?
Yes. Of course, the two larger ones are still outside. I have smaller ones that I have created.
They seem pretty efficient.
Thank you. It took a long time to get it that way.
Were you having servo misfires?
Was it just
You've got some complicated, the balance on the limbs must be a little tricky once they get moving at a certain speed.
Oh yes, definitely. That's why I decided to choose a quadrupedic form. I realized that there were some, I wouldn't say scientists in the least. I would say more like engineering pioneers who were basing a lot of their technology off of animalistic designs a while back. And I remember reading an article about it. I decided in that case I should try that, and I applied it to these little bots, and it worked just fine.
Yeah.
One of the hard things about being on the old ship is
That's great. Bryce is just happy to me.
the rotting corpses of the Quay. The stench it basically filled the whole ship.
So the cogs didn't clean any of it up. They just fixed some stuff and.
Yeah, they didn't clean up the mess.
It's not in their contract.
Good. I mean, it would have been invasive otherwise. We just felt like our privacy had been violated.
When Theo walks around through the to the opening of the ship, he'll take a whiff. God, what is that?
I guess it's hard to say how these things decompose, isn't it?
Oh, jeez, I didn't know. They didn't think about that. All right, hold on. Let me get the biosuits on.
We could see if we could enhance the atmosphere scrubbers somehow. Print out a special filter. Oh, hell, I don't know if they'll be able to take care of this, though.
Well, we gotta try everything but the kitchen sink at this point because I am not. Oh gosh.
Speaking of the kitchen sink, how bad was that hit?
I don't even recognize its shape anymore. It's they did a number.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably want more raw materials for the 3D printer soon.
Oh, that's fine.
It's gonna run low.
Luckily, all the scrap here we can just recycle.
Yeah, I suppose that's so.
Oh, I forgot how big they are. I think what we'll do is we'll try to get Pawn inside of
Genu?
No, inside of Genu.
Yeah.
And then have him have Pawn in this case help get that out of there. Pawn.
Yes, Theo. What is it?
Could you inhabit Genu again and meet us down here?
Oh, I already currently am.
Oh, where are you? I don't even see you.
I'm in the corner. And Gino will step out and wave.
That's not scary.
Hello.
Oh, there you... Well, come over this way, Theo will say, waving. He'll have a bit of a nervous look to his face.
I figured you would be talking to me soon, whenever you saw me.
How perceptive. Come. I'm going to need you to help us move some bodies out of here. There's a couple of large, I say rather smelly bodies of Quay. I'm going to get my biosuit on, and we're just going to get these out of here.
Are you going to keep any samples, or are we going to jettison them out into the void?
Hold on. Doctor. Doctor.
Go. This is Colt. Is there an emergency?
Yeah, Colt, I was thinking, we still have some decaying corpses here, and when I say decaying, I mean disgustingly decaying. Do you still want any samples to be kept?
No. I have plenty of samples. Almost too many samples at this point. I'll just have to. No. Though I would watch out for any poisonous gases that could be released from the bodies. Yeah. If you need help, I can actually head over there. I'll put on a suit.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
All right.
Theo out.
A click sound.
Theo clicks out. He turns around. His face is kind of pale. It's like poisonous gases. Oh, gosh.
Well, there are the acid bubbles. It's sort of hard to say whether the material holds up as the rest of the organism dies.
Do you think there's a chance that there's a hole in the ship?
Why would you say that, Pawn?
The acid? Maybe the containers that holds them have decomposed.
Theo then comes out with rushing on the exosuit, well, the environmental suit, and so he's like, a hole in the ship. Yeah, great. That's what we need too. Another hole in the ship.
But perhaps everything is fine. Where are these bodies?
Well, they should be inside the docking bay area.
Oh, that's right. Aren't they piled on top of the Land Rover?
Oh, that's the other thing I have to repair. Crap. Let's get to it. Come on. I'll open up the door. Whoa.
Theo, maybe I should do a fine sensor sweep, just in case we are, in case we've sprung any leaks.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Bryce sort of moves off to do that. Well, actually looking for peace and quiet to tend to his own projects.
Are you doing this in your head? So you could.
Yeah, he's doing the sensor sweep in his head while repairing, actually back by the printer repairing his old rifle.
You're getting some strange readings, like a heat source. It's not real warm, but it's warm. It
From where?
From inside the ship in the cargo area.
Am I picking up any, can I sense any thoughts in that area? As though it were a living thing?
You think that there is something living there. It's almost childlike or infant-like.
It seems we have an organism in the cargo area. It's small. Maybe a child or a
child?
A small animal of some kind. I don't know.
Oh, great. That's what we need. Another stowaway. All right, Pon. Sorry, Pon. Let's keep our eyes open for any other living creatures that might be on board.
All right, you guys will move forward, and you'll be standing on top of the balcony, looking down on the sadly, horribly disfigured and leaking corpses of the Quay. It seems that their carapaces have cracked open, almost looking like an eggshell that's been shattered, and all kinds of viscous fluid has leaked down into the land roving vehicle, into the seats, filling up any space that the liquid could pool. It's dripping out through the cracks of the door, from underneath the vehicle. It appears that the acid sacs haven't degraded yet. It seems like they seem to have some sort of consistency that lasts after death. But the life signature that Bryce is getting is coming from the chest of the larger Quay, and you see some movement.
Theo takes a deep breath, and as he approaches down, he'll take like a large pipe, especially a long one too, and he'll as he takes it off of some of the wreckage, he approaches towards it. He goes, "All right, Pon, you stay on standby. If anything tries to leap out at me, all right, I'm going to need you to pull it off of me, right?"
So only interact with it if it attacks you.
Yes.
Theo, might it be best for me to call the doctor to bring a bioscanner over to see what exactly we're dealing with?
Yeah. Go ahead, bud.
You'll hear the sound of like a carapace cracking. It seems like whatever's in there is trying to get out.
Oh boy, it's all right. It's coming out regardless. It's
Captains, Colt, we have an organism in the, by the Land Rover in the Terrazzo. It seems to be dwelling in the chest of one of the Quay corpses, or one of the alien beings.
I'm coming. Why is this ship so damn large? Capture it, grab it, hold it, save it.
Yeah, you heard him, Theo.
I got that just fine. Theo says, and it just kind of he'll facepalm the face shield, and he'll walk forward and use the pipe to kind of break it open a little bit, ever so gently.
As you're leaning in with the pipe, you get sprayed with fluid.
Oh!
The carapace cracks open, and you'll see the small angled foot of one of what looks like a very miniature Quay abruptly breaking through the chest of its parent.
Oh gosh. Oh, okay.
You think about 3 gallons worth of fluid is covering your chest, your legs, and your face.
Oh god.
Theo, this is Kazuko. Did you find anything in the chest?
Yeah, it's a miniature Quay.
Okay, well, don't move, because if you stand right there, it'll bond with you.
I hide behind Gino at this point.
The other leg breaks through, and more fluid splashes down on the ground like someone dumps out a tub.
Oh, gee, it's going everywhere.
Well,
Okay,
it doesn't seem to be eating through material too quickly.
Theo, don't kill it, whatever you do.
No, I'm not going to kill it. I mean, how bad can these things be? It's just a little guy, right? Hey, little guy. He taps like the pipe on the side of.
Its head will break through the chest. Sort of cracks through parts of the parent, collapse down around it.
Oh, I kind of jump back at this point.
You see the two little horns on the top of its head and its eyes. It seems like it's sizzling inside the fluid.
Hi there, little guy. And he'll do like a little wave of it.
You'll see the eyes. They follow the metal.
Oh, you like this? And I just kind of wave it.
Yeah, I will show. You guys show up at this point, and have him broken up by the comp thing, and just maybe someone go get the translator.
Kazuko, please, could you come down here as well?
I'm on my way.
All right, but please bring that translator. He's a talking.
The mouth breaks free of the chest and starts to rip apart the flesh of its parent.
Okay.
Okay, I'll run in and come to a sliding halt, and I'll thrust the translator in Theo's hands, and I'll say, "Here, you're the first organism that it laid eyes upon. Talk to it so you can bind with it."
I shouldn't be bonding with it. I'm not a Quay. Hey, we got tons of them back on that colony.
This is a perfect opportunity for us to make some leeway into their society. You'll go down in history, man.
If we give it back to them, we'll have to explain how we got it, and they might not like the idea that we murdered so many of them.
Okay,
Yes,
so
good point. Theo,
gee.
maybe you should just freeze it, and then I can study it.
No, you can't just freeze it. It's an intelligent creature, a being.
Does it look intelligent?
It rips off about a 12-foot.
It's a Quay. Of course, it's intelligent.
12-inch section of
It's
flesh.
intelligent as a human child.
Starts chewing on it.
It's
See, look
eating
at
it.
it. It's teething already.
That's the problem, though. It seems to be advancing faster than a human child would, and we don't understand it. So, for all we know, it could grow up within the course of a couple days, and suddenly decide to start killing us, or somehow destroy the ship by accident, or we kill it by accident, or we don't understand how to deal with it.
Or we have a chance here to get a Quay that will be able to communicate between us and its own culture easier.
Oh, it's valuable. Yeah, it's valuable. We just there's potential problems of coming from us not understanding how to raise it. If we can figure out how to raise it, then it would be invaluable. But we have to find some way around these problems, find some way to understand it and how it's going to change as it grows and what we need to do to take care of it.
Another 15 gallons of fluid dumps onto the floor as the rest of it kind of just slides out of the stomach, the chest area. It starts to climb up to the head of the creature, and it starts plucking out the eyes and putting it in its mouth.
Oh, it's almost as big as me. Gosh.
That was my point.
All right. Theo will approach it, and as he does so, he will attempt to translate what it says. Hello there, little one.
It pops in one of the eyes and just it explodes like a grape in its mouth, and there's this blackish fluid leaking down its chin.
Oh man.
It has a rotted, fetid breath now that it's eating the rotten flesh of its parent.
Oh, this is...
Doctor, have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, it's absolutely fascinating. Theo, you should grab that thing and we should put it in a cage or something.
I should grab it.
Or Bryce. You know.
Well, Theo's the dad, so he should grab it.
Yeah. Oh, hold on here. What? Theo is no father. All right, and at this point, Theo will he'll break off a piece of the parent's body, and then he'll kind of hand it to him. Here you go.
It sort of tilts its head, and then it won't grab with its hands. It'll just sort of lunge forward and just sort of grasp onto the part that you held out. So you're still holding it, and it's hanging off the flesh, and it just starts tearing into it violently.
All right.
Yeah, that's cute.
Kazuko, please contact the Quay on the station. We just need them down here so that we could get this out of our hands.
Yeah, and we need them to come in here and see all the rotting corpses of their kin. That's a good idea.
The captain does have a point there. I don't know if that's a good idea right now.
They must know we had an encounter with them, though. We have one of their ships, and it's in plain sight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but having one of their ships and them seeing their dead splattered all over the bay is two different things, I think.
Well, I mean, I'm sure if we sat there and explained to them they attacked us first, I mean...
I don't want to be the guy that does that.
He's talking. Hungry. He keeps saying that he's hungry. Kazuko, you're better at this than I am.
No, you're the adoptee parent. You're the one that should be communicating.
Oh,
gibberish.
We don't want to confuse them, or her, or it.
It doesn't even. It seems like it's not actually saying words for the most part. This is gibberish.
no, this is making absolutely no sense. It's I guess it doesn't know how to talk yet.
Exactly. So speak speak English to it. If it's advancing so quickly, it may just pick up.
Okay. Hi there. Theo will just wave his arms at him.
Don't wave your arms around too much. It may think you're offering it something to eat.
Oh, jeez.
It launches itself and grabs onto your left arm.
No.
You feel the little sharp little fingers digging in, but only like about 3 millimeters or so.
No. No, off, down. And I just start shoving him away a little bit. Just no. No.
It makes this little clicking noise and doesn't seem to let go.
No means no. No means get off.
I think it's kind of purring or something. That may be a sound of affection, perhaps.
Great.
Click back at it.
Theo will then just start to... Let's make that noise at him.
It moves up your chest and sort of nuzzles its like hard, warm carapace against the side of your face.
Oh.
Congratulations, Theo. You're dad.
Oh.
I turn around with this creature hanging off me and I go, yeah? Spectacular.
You start to sweat because this thing's about 100 or so degrees, maybe like 95 degrees.
This is not what I have in mind. It's it's really warm. He just kind of pats it on the back. There. Ginu, Pon, I'm sorry. Pon, can you spray the coolant just behind me? Not that way it can balance out this heat here.
Theo, you want me to spray you or
No,
backside?
just behind me, not on me. Just create like an air current. There's another setting on it that should allow you to do that.
So
just
a lower setting.
Yes.
All right. As soon as she hits the button, the shh sort of noise comes out of it. The little thing freaks out, and I don't know if you ever held a cat and someone made a loud noise or something and just lunged away from you.
Oh, jeez.
That's pretty much what happens. It uses its talons, it digs in farther into Theo, and lunges, and when he lunges, it pushes back Theo about a couple feet, and it lands on the corpse of its mother, or father. You're not sure.
Oh, God. Just turn it off. Turn it off. On, turn it off.
And it'll turn off. Its head is whipping around, it's looking at all of you, like in turn.
Fascinating.
fascinating.
I think we should go. I think we should take Kazuko's idea and go probably the Quay maybe. But I don't know. Do you want to keep this thing?
I don't even know the first thing about taking care of a Quay.
Yeah, I know. I thought that's a problem. Kazuko has a point that it might be useful as an ambassador, but if we are known to have hidden one of their children and raised it as our own instead of giving it to them, that might also be a problem, besides the potential problem of it hurting us or us hurting it by accident.
There's just way too many factors for us to consider about even beginning to keep this little guy. I think we just need to give him back and...
Yeah. I think Kazuko is right, or whoever said that is right, that we should, if we explain it to them why we have the thing and that we want to give it back, they won't kill us. And that's a lot more, I'm a lot more confident of that working out than us trying to keep the thing. There's fewer variables. There's still potential for it to go wrong, but...
His mouth is talking at the same pace that the captain's is.
Oh. I think you were right. It may be learning already to talk. Which means we kind of need to move fast if we want to give it back. Because it'll be full grown soon, and then like the rate it's growing, we don't really have much time of it being in a kind of infant stage before it'll be so adapted to us that we may not be able to give it back.
It's mimicking all the hand gestures and body language of the captain.
Okay, so I'm the dad now.
I don't know if that's the guy that it wants to mimic.
It probably does, looking at how warlike the Quay are.
It lunges halfway across the room and slams into the captain and it grapples his arm.
Like rubbing itself like it did with Theo?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's sort of digging into your arm. You got some blood running down your fingertips.
Ow.
Theo will walk over there and be like, no, little guy. Let's just get off. Come on. Dad. Don't. I'll wave the pipe at him like, don't do that with me, young man. Get off of him. Get off. I'll point to the ground. Get off. Get off.
It's moving its mouth the same way that you are.
Get off. Come on. Right. That ground. Get on there. Come on.
Its red eyes sort of look up at the captain, and the captain starts to sweat. It seems warmer. I think it's about 110 degrees or so.
Ow. I'm just kind of hoping that me looking in pain may convince it that this is bad. And like, ow, go away. Ow. And I draw my little short sword thing and point at the ground, and try to tap the ground or lower my arm so it's next to the ground so it can just step off. All these things trying to hint at it. Go to the ground.
It reaches up and sort of yanks out a chunk of your hair and starts chewing on it.
I'm completely freaking out now because I think it's going to decide I'm food.
Oh no. They will take the pipe and wedge it between him and the captain and start no, come on.
Start spitting out the hair.
Come on, go. Get off of him. Go on.
It'll jump down and sort of looking around.
Yeah. Somebody go talk to those Quay and get them here or get us there. Get this thing off of my ship.
Okay, I'll go back up to the bridge and open a channel.
As
to the Quay.
As Kazuko is leaving, it starts to follow you.
Okay, I'll walk slowly because I'm not sure if this is it's the right thing to do, but I'm not sure if this is I'm not aware that it's following me.
It's kind of silly, but with its 4 legs, it seems like it's trying to emulate the way you walk. So its left 2 legs pick up and go down, and then its right 2 legs go up and then come down. So he's sort of leaning almost like a 45-degree angle and just sort of dog walking himself behind you.
Okay, so
And
eventually,
he's swinging, or it's swinging its arms at the same rate too.
eventually I hear this and I turn around, and are there any of the other crew members behind them, or did they just allow him to leave?
I at least we followed him. So.
Colt is following along, scanning the creature, continually getting updates of information.
Okay, I kind of stop in mid stride and kind of freeze as I look over my shoulder, and I kind of slowly lower my right leg, and notice that it's emulating me, and excuse me. I say, Captain, it may not be such a good idea for the little guy to be led to the bridge. There's a lot of sensitive equipment in there. Could be bad.
What are we supposed to do with it?
Well, can we lead it to the med bay and put it in some type of containment unit or something?
Okay. I look at Colt like, do we have something that would work?
You can put it in our cryo freeze chamber.
That might chill it. I mean, they don't do well with cold.
Well, we've noticed the large ones were able to work in no atmosphere at all in the coldest space. I would assume that their bodies are probably hardened for it.
Okay.
What does the bioscanner say when you're getting your readings?
Basically, it's just generating huge amounts of heat from its central body. It's massive. It's a massive amount of an unknown material, which is basically its bone structure. It doesn't seem to be completely carbon-based. It seems to have a sort of a different mixture of a different element, and that's probably why the creature keeps going back and eating the corpses of the parents to gain that mineral that we don't actually have. Also, at its present rate of growth, it would probably be fully grown in a day and a half. And sadly, that's about it. So I think that if we keep it away from the body of the parents and not give it that mineral, it won't be able to continue to grow. We can reduce its, not hurt it.
Oh, slow it down?
It'll slow it down, yeah. It's almost like not having the right building blocks to expand, where we would have proteins or, sugars and stuff for our atoms. They must use a different thing. It's not a silicon base either, so I'm not sure what it is yet. That's why I think we should probably keep it and study it.
Theo, as he's still in the still main docking area of the Terrasos?
Terrasos, huh?
The Terrasos,
yeah.
He'll begin looking around and thinking, oh geez, let's look at the other corpses, Pawn. We'll take this one and split it open and see what's inside.
Yes, Theo. And she'll start just bashing in the chest.
Gently.
Gino holds up both hands. I do not have a gently.
Well, let me show you here. To walk up and try using a light algorithm of 0557, and then by gently I mean increase it by 0.5 thereafterwards. That should allow you to do it and he'll hold up little quotation things like gently.
She looks at the mallet-like hand and the canister hand, and she tries to apply the algorithm.
Oh, don't forget to use your other arms.
Oh, that's right. Small little arms will come out on these metallic, sort of snake-like tendrils.
There you go. I just applied the algorithm as follows.
It appears that the chest of this one is just filled with rotting organs.
Okay, that's the start. I'll go to the other one.
I think there was just the 2, but she'll start cutting open the rest of the chest. You'll see what looks like a withered, sort of infant, perhaps, that stopped growing. Looks like it's dead.
Huh. Colt to Theo.
Go ahead, Theo.
We have another one, but this one's dead.
Oh, excellent. Can you scoop it up and bring it to the med bay?
Sure.
It's starting to liquefy in places.
Oh, okay. Let me go fast. Let me get one of the containers real quick, and I will grab one of the bio containers. It'll be a large tube. It'll be clear on the insides of it. The bottom and top portions will have large metallic rims and special devices designed for sealing. He will grab it, putting it down inside the corpse, and then kind of scooping it up ever so gently using the thick gloves to just kind of push it in there.
Some of the slimy material gets on the side of the canister, but yeah, it's inside.
All right. Upon sealing it, Theo will then take a rag and start wiping it off furiously. All right, there we go. Oh, this stuff smears everywhere.
The child is walking closer over to Kazuko, and it seems like it's trying to emulate the look on your face. What does the look on your face look like?
One of, if possible, one of curiosity and fear at the same time. Because I'm really amazed at this creature's ability to adapt to its surroundings and to things around it, but it's also pretty powerful and potentially deadly. So I, of course, never made it to the bridge yet, but I kind of mumble, how's that containment field coming? Doc?
Colt, who's standing right behind you, kind of looks up at you. He's like, "Oh, we never made it to the med bay."
I know. Can you? Is it something you have to do before I get there, or can I run there now, or what?
Oh no. And he's got his face like in the data pad. He just wasn't really paying attention. He's like, "No, Theo's bringing the other one up. This one you can do whatever you want with."
It starts pounding its feet.
Put it in cryo?
It starts pounding its feet really quickly on the ground.
Yeah, I think so. I'll start walking backwards towards the med bay.
It will turn around and look over its shoulder and do the same thing you're doing.
All right. Okay. So we'll oh, I see what it's doing. Okay. All right. And I will turn around normally and start to quickly walk towards the med bay.
It will turn and it will start to sort of gallop down the hallway, like if you picture like the sound of a horse, except that the metal is clacking off the floors of the tunnel, the walkway, and it's keeping up with you.
All right, Doc, hurry up.
In fact, it reaches up. It gets to the same
no.
pace as you are.
I'm right behind you. See the doctor scurrying right behind you.
All right, I'm at doing like one of those power walks, you know, like the guys do or used to do in the Olympics, and because I don't want to get feel those claws dig into me if possible.
Now, if you were Bryce, you could probably get away from it, but
yeah, right. So we keep moving, and unless it lunges for me, and if that's the case, if I can help it, I'll still keep moving.
It just keeps pace with you, and you'll get up to the bridge. That's where you wanted to go, I believe.
No, we want to go to the med bay.
Oh, med bay, okay.
Yeah.
Once we're in the med bay, the doctor kind of squeaks past you and opens one of the cryo tubes, and he's like, kneels down. He's like, "Okay, little guy, get in the tube." Just step in there. Just walk into the tube.
It's looking at the doctor and then looking at Kazuko.
Is there enough room for both of us in that thing?
Oh, there's plenty of room, yeah.
Okay, we'll see how this goes. And I'll walk as nonchalantly as possible and climb into the tube.
All right, when you climb in, it lunges across the room
Yeah.
and grabs onto your side of your body and starts to click and clatter.
Digs in.
The doctor seals the cryo.
Thanks, Doc. I knew that was gonna happen.
yeah, you'll have some blood running down your arm.
Okay, I yelp in pain and my eyes kind of widen up as the tube seals up and the doc can hear me, my muted, voice like, what are you doing? No.
No, this will work fine. And then the doc starts typing in. He starts releasing some chemical agents that will put both Kazuko and the creature out. Or he thinks will put the creature out.
Okay, I give the doc the finger.
The creature starts to panic when the noise of the gas starts to fill the chamber. And it kind of goes berserk for a little while, digging into your leg, scratches the left side of your face under your eye, kind of deep. And then it finally goes out roughly the same time that you do.
Okay, there you go.
All right, and once the gas clears, the doctor will... he kind of just opens the thing. When it pops open, he kind of grabs Kazuko and then recloses it and puts Kazuko on the table. And he's like, "There, that was easy."
Okay, when I do, I awaken with a start, kind of flailing. No, and then kind of look around and then kind of feel my extremities and everything, to make sure everything's still there, including important parts. And then I'll eventually sit up and kind of wince and hold my arm.
Yeah, you kind of hear the humming sound of a flesh sealer as Colt is going back and forth over where the scratches on your legs. He's like, "You'll be repaired in a second. Not even a scar. This worked out perfectly."
I look at the cryo tube and I kind of shake my head and I go, I guess this was a good idea. I don't know. I'm having second thoughts now.
So, do you want me to freeze it now? So that we can, study it for a long time, or?
No, it's a kid, a newborn. I don't want to do that. That's like, that's not the right thing to do.
You'll see its mouth sort of moving, and it's sort of twitching and moving its arms and legs every once in a while.
It's a small, hideous monster.
It isn't supposed to be moving, is it?
Sound like the captain.
He's probably just dreaming. It's when the legs fully curl in, like when you step on a spider. That's when you're gonna worry.
Yeah.
I look at the doctor like, I can't believe you.
Even I recognize this thing as a child. I'm just worried that it might hurt us because we don't understand it. But I'm not suggesting that we kill it or we dismember it or something. I'm just saying we should give it back to the people that know how to take care of it.
Oh, dismembering it. We could add bionics to it. I wonder what that would be like.
A bad idea. That's what that would be like.
Yes.
Colt's brain kind of drifts off, smiling.
No dismembering of babies. I never thought I would have to give that over.
No. I wouldn't do that to this one. I'm thinking if we had a larger one and it wanted. Anyways, I mean, I have the creature. It's sedated. I can watch it fine if you want to either, jettison it out there, the docking bay, or to drop it off at the quay. That's perfectly fine either way. I'll get samples now and make sure that it's okay.
Well, I'm going to head to the bridge so I can try to contact the quay emissary and
As you're getting up, you hear kind of a and something stabs you in the back as as Colt hits you with an enhancer.
What was that for?
It's to help the pain and stuff to go away. It's kind of an antibiotic, kind of a combination of electrolytes and stuff as well. It'll help to calm you down.
Okay, I kind of look at the doc and kind of shake my head as I rub the back of my shoulder where he stabbed me. And I'll walk slowly to the bridge, mumbling something like, "I don't know about you, Doc. You're you're interesting."
As yeah, because Colt turns and he begins, using the computer systems to process all the different information he can find out about the creature. He seems to be totally engrossed in that.
All right. For a moment, I'm kind of torn between keeping watch on Colt so he doesn't just decide to start cutting into the thing and following Kazuko to make sure that the diplomacy goes well. But then they decide I'll go with Colt or with Kazuko.
Shortly afterwards, you see Theo lumbering in there with the sample. Oh, these things are pretty heavy. Here we go.
What? Oh, Theo, you brought the. Is that the sample?
Yeah.
There's a large metallic object in there.
Yeah, there's a little newborn inside here, but it's dead.
He kind of Colt walks over and he kind of shakes it a little bit. He's like, "Was it liquefied like this?"
It began liquefying as I removed it.
Fascinating.
Not when I cleaned the side of this with some disinfectant, though. Kind of gooped everywhere.
All right, excellent. Thanks, Theo. This will be a lot of help. And Colt puts it into the second cryogenic and closes it off to seal it.
Okay, then. There's the little guy. He's out, huh?
Yeah, he's sleeping peacefully. Luckily, they're susceptible to one of the same gases that we are. It's good to know.
Strange.
Yeah.
The container with the living Quay child fills with this yellow-green fluid. Seems like it just relieved itself.
Yellow. I would not have guessed that it would be yellow. Fascinating.
Oh, shouldn't you clean that out, Doc?
Well,
there's the hydration system inside of it. It should be able to drain it out.
Yeah, the self-scrubbers will take care of it. And then, Colt takes a few buttons and runs the scrubbers to clean the inside.
You could probably collect the samples inside, too, and study it if you wish.
Yes, I'll definitely do that. No, yeah. I mean, the scrubbers will keep it into the separate containers till we eject them anyways, so I'll be able to get them from there.
Well, and Theo kind of leans over. Well, what I was kind of suggesting is that since we can determine that this thing is of somewhat similar biological origin to us, we can also assume that its functions are not too different from ours in the fact that it expels nutrients and items in its body that it does not need and doesn't want. If you catch my drift.
Yes.
So that we might need to study that at some point. In case we have future problems, we might have an edge.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Colt pulls out his datapad and starts typing in a bunch of information, probably reminder notes to remind himself to do that.
You'll see that acid sacs are starting to form on the outside of its carapace.
Already? Wow. He's like, now that's dangerous. Theo, I don't know if you would mind helping me real quickly. You can see that he's already forming acid sacs. I would like to, cut them off now before they grow into any bigger.
Do we know what might do to it if we cut it off?
They seem, from all the stuff that we've checked out already on these, that they're almost like, parts that the creature itself doesn't even need. They're just, probably built into their genetics somewhere.
Surely it has.
It almost seems like they're programmed into their genetics as opposed to it just being a natural occurrence. But until I can really get into the DNA, I'm not sure.
Well, what does the scan say? Surely there must be some tissue connected to this.
Yeah, all that tissue is self-sealing, just a tube, almost like a sphincter muscle that releases that excess acid into it. At first, I originally thought that was what the creatures expelled, but now that we have urine in there, apparently that's not the case.
All right.
So it might be good to get one of those, at least one of them to test them to see if it's even acid in it, and how potent it is even at this young age.
Oh, I don't see the harm in that. Let's go ahead then.
All right. Doctor gets ready with the laser scalpel, and he says on 3, and then he kind of waits for Theo to push the release to open the HUD, the cover.
Ready when you are, Doc.
Okay, anytime, Theo. Just push the button.
Beep.
When it opens up, the doctor quickly reaches in with the laser scalpel, and years of surgery that he's always done. He meticulously slices with one quick slice the little pod, and steps back for the door to close. So fast, I couldn't even disturb the poor thing as it probably rolls over dreaming. And he places the small sample onto a lab dish that's large enough to hold any of the amount of liquid that might fall out.
Something strange happens. It rolls to one side and then back again.
Theo, did you see that?
Yeah, that's strange.
Colt pushes
why?
it to see if it does the same thing again, if it rolls.
It stays perfectly still.
Perfectly still on that? Okay. Yeah, with that, Colt gets a couple vials and he pours out some liquid into a larger dish that he puts underneath the plastisteel container that he has the acid in. And then he says, well, I guess we should cut it open and see.
It rolls to the left and then to the right again.
What the hell?
Wait, hold on. Let's look at the X-ray images.
All right, you want to do full scan on it?
Yeah.
All right.
That might help us see what's inside of it.
All right, I put the whole thing into the bioscanner and then run that. And then it brings up a holographic image of what's inside a small sack.
Yeah, there doesn't really appear to be any reason why it would have moved.
Maybe we should study the viscosity of the fluid on the inside. Maybe perhaps there's some sort of balancing mechanism in here.
Right. We run a standard viscosity test on it, and it's slightly thicker than water, but a little bit, not quite syrupy, at least at this temperature. And,
it starts to float about 2 inches off the tray.
All right. Colt immediately reaches out with his mechanical hand and kind of pushes it down, holds it down or pushes it down. Hopefully it doesn't resist too hard. He just tries to hold it down.
It goes right down.
Fascinating. There has to be some sort of gases.
Did you do that, Theo?
No.
Oh.
It has to have some sort of gases inside of it. Yeah, let's run the bioscanner again. There has to be some microorganisms working in there.
Colt will notice as he's sort of seeing this stuff happen in the corner of his eye. He sees red eyes from the canister looking at him. It sort of pressed its face up against the glass and it's looking out.
subtly moves a little closer to me. He's like, Theo, it's looking at us. Specifically me. No, don't turn around so quickly.
I don't see what the problem is. Theo will just turn around and be like, hello, little guy. And he'll walk up to the glass and, how you doing?
What is Colt doing at the moment?
He's just holding a little,
He's holding
little
onto
object. Yeah, just so it doesn't float away.
it. You'll feel a tug towards Theo's direction. But it doesn't move because you're holding onto it.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that this creature has some sort of manipulative ability over this, this part of it, where I can move it. I don't want to say something like telekinesis or something, which is fake, but...
Well, how about we let him out?
Do you think he'll be docile enough?
He should be docile.
It wasn't that easy to get him in there in the first place.
I think it is learning. He'll go ahead and just hit the button.
It lunges out, literally flies across the room, a little arcing angle, and slams into the wall.
Oh, that's not right.
Theo runs up to it, and he'll hold out his hand in a stop motion and be like, no. Let's sit down on the ground. Come on.
It stands up at the tallest it can stand. It seems to be doing some sort of threatening pose. Its little fingers are sort of outstretched before it. Its head is sort of tilted down, and you start to see heat emanating through the cracks of its carapace. The room's temperature starts to climb.
Oh, you're getting mad at me, huh? All right. And then in that case, Theo will do the same thing, and this time he'll have his chest buffed outward, and he'll try to attempt to stare him down, and say, "You best calm down." No. No.
It sort of reaches out its finger and points at the canister.
Oh, that. I will bring the canister up to it, and I will say, it was already dead when we found him, or it. There was nothing that could be done for him.
So
you understand?
You're holding the canister in front of you?
Yeah, I grabbed the canister and I'm trying to explain to him that it's already there was nothing we could do.
And what do you think the canister is made out of? What does it look like? Is it clear? Glass?
It's made of a super tough material that should be able to hold most acidic compounds and stuff. So it would look like on the outside glass, and then it has two metallic ends on it, and they seem somewhat bulky and somewhat gear-like.
Both of its arms will crash together on both sides of the canister, shattering the glass exterior, but obviously not the metal interior, and it sort of pulls it towards itself. And it's looking down.
I will grab the what's left of the little thing and hold it up to it and say, "There's nothing that could have been done about it. It was dead."
Its four legs will sort of fold underneath it. It gets lower onto the ground. It just sort of stares down.
Theo will kind of just look over, and he'll kind of put his hand on its shoulder somewhat, and his metal hand. He'll do that, and then he'll look over at it and say, "Well, there's nothing that could have happened and been done. Your people attacked ours. We had to defend ourselves. We could have never have known any of these things to have happened. Luckily, you, and he'll point to them, are alive. You understand?
Just keep sitting there. Maybe we should switch scenes to Kazuko in the cockpit. He has been kind of ignoring you guys and Bryce.
That's all right. As we come into the cockpit, there's a light and an audible alarm pinging, and I'll rush over to it. And as I look at it, I tell the captain that it looks like the sensors are picking up some type of signal or something emanating from the Quay colony ship. And I'll point to it and I'll say, Captain, what do you make of it?
Alikov, are you there?
He's not muted, is he?
Well, he might have walked away.
Okay.
Well, Bryce is there, so.
Yeah, Bryce chimes
cool.
in and says, yeah, I'm going to have to take a closer look at that. I'll run down to the sensor array now. And meets you in the cockpit faster than you would expect.
Okay. Cool.
And he's firmly planted by all the instrumentation and even connects via physical cable, so he has better bandwidth to figure out what this thing is.
You see how it's like intermittent?
Yeah, you would think it would be some sort of standard distress signal or beacon, but there's finer code in it, and it's taking up a broader wavelength than I'd expected. It may be an encrypted message of some kind, but it's mostly looping, but there are minor variations. I can try and decrypt it if you'd like.
Yeah, maybe we should. Do they feel as though they're maybe in some type of trouble, or I don't know? This could have more ominous tones to it.
It's hard to say, but it looks like it's this could be transmitting over quite some distance. It's a strong signal, just an odd one.
I'll see if I can get a hold of. See if I wrote his name down. The colonist, Citizen Than. I'll see if I can get a hold of him on the communicator.
So you're saying the signal's coming from the settlement, or is it coming from the colony ship that had kept traveling?
The colony ship that crashed into the settlement. That one.
You know, there was 50 small vessels that crashed into the asteroid.
Okay, one of the crashed ships. We can't tell which one right yet, but in that vicinity.
You'll have an old gentleman looking at a screen. Yes. What's wrong?
I'll say sorry for the intrusion, Dan, but I was just wondering. We're detecting some type of possibly a distress signal coming from the quay. Are you aware of any kind of issues there?
That kind of surprises me. I would think things are going pretty well here right now.
There's been no reports of any incidents from any of your people?
So far, so good. They have kept to themselves, and so have we.
Okay, all right. We'll just monitor things, but I just felt that maybe I should check in with you just to see what was going on, if anything.
Can you read what the message is.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to decode it at the moment. So as soon as we find out something specific, I'll let you know.
Blessings upon your voyage. Take care.
Okay, yeah, everything's good. Situation normal. And I'll hang up.
Yeah, Bryce had been waiting for you to hang up and turns to you and says, I think I have it, but I don't know. It looks like it might be the language you've been deciphering, but the patterning's very different. It's like it's in a different meter, or maybe it's a formal tone. I don't know. Here, take a look.
Hey, Alex, you just want to give me like a computer and like I don't know, like hacking or something? That'd be fine. Just a roll to see how many successes are. You good?
Okay, absolutely. Three.
You get you're looking at something was quite not right about this. Like, what? It's coming from this ship. I don't really understand what's going on here. You're looking into things. It seems like the vessel that you got the message from the settlement received a message from deep space, and it seems that came from the direction of the new planet. The planet that had entered the solar system through the rift.
So is it responding to that message, or is that
it almost seems like
we're picking up and it's just sort of deflecting off of it somehow?
It seems like it's rebroadcasted for some reason.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe trying to make sure it has a broader spread. Kazuko, it looks like they not long ago received some sort of signal from the rift, or from that planet that's just appeared. I think that they're trying to spread it more broadly. It seems like it was a fairly focused, concentrated signal at first, but they're spreading it through more frequencies, and they seem to have, well, again, they're pushing it as far as they can.
Well, look at that. See that repeating code or whatever there, according to as close as I can translate it, it looks like it's roughly the phrase or the word katal, and that's being repeated over and over again. See there and there and there.
But what does it refer to? Can you infer anything from the structure of the words around it?
Kazuko kind of frowns, and then he looks, and he compares to the data that he's correlated from the translator before, and he says it looks like it's referring roughly to leaders, or it may be a tribal designation or family designation of some sort. It's still kind of difficult to tell.
There's another word that I'm seeing appear, but with very slight variances. Is it? Hell, I don't know how to pronounce this. Hayit, but then there's Hayit. It's as though it's referring to the same thing in a different state, like they've compounded an adjective in with an item, like maybe it refers to the distance of something or the intensity.
I don't know. We're going to have to study this a little bit more because this could, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it.
Could the creatures here help you figure it out? Or
well,
is it wise for us to ask if we don't know what this signal is?
Exactly. I don't know. I think we should, or let's study the signal and see if it changes at all, or even if there's any kind of answer of any sort, and that may give us a clue as to what this is all about.
Well, I'll keep looking at it anyway. But again, I'm no linguist.
Or here's a thought: maybe we can just talk to the Quay and ask them.
Well, that was what I was inquiring as to the wisdom of. You're the captain.
Kazuko kind of looks at you like, gee, thanks a lot. Okay. He kind of slumps back in his chair, kind of rubbing his forehead in thought. And he kind of shrugs, and he turns to Bryce and I say, well, there's no time like the present, and we're not going to find out for sure unless we go to the source of this. So I think maybe that's the thing we should do, is to inquire. Maybe they need help of some sort, and they may just not know how to ask us for it. That's possibly it as well. But the other possibility is that, and I hate to say this, and we should probably keep this, between you and I, is that there may be a faction of the Quay that is a little more militant, or possibly up to something that we don't know about until now.
It's entirely possible. Are you going to tell them about the child?
Yeah, I think that's the best thing. I mean, imagine if things were reversed and there was a human child in their midst. We would be outraged if, we weren't told of such a thing. So I think that's the best thing to do. And I don't want to push my luck with the doctor. He has the curiosity of a cat. I think it's probably best if we get the child into Quay hands as soon as possible.
If it comes up and you need to know, I think its mother's name was. He kind of coughs after that, trying to avoid your eyes.
If you expect me to say that 3 times real quick, you're out of luck. I'll say, but thanks. Okay. Kazuko punches on the intercom, and he calls out, Theo, are you out there?
Yeah, I'm in Colt's office.
Hey, Theo, this is Kazuko. Where are the environmental suits kept?
Oh, they should be kept in the docking bay.
Okay.
Or you also might find a pair of them, if it would be closer and convenient more to you, in the Plutonics bay.
the ones in the Plutonics Bay are more than likely not to have been contaminated by all the Quay goop, right?
Most definitely.
Okay, thanks.
All right. So you have the little guy all folded up in the med bay. He seems kind of despondent. Or it seems despondent. You're not sure if it's male or female.
I just kind of stand there and I keep holding it towards it, and I keep trying to talk to it like I had been before.
Theo, you have it pretty calm. Do you think you could maybe take a sample? A blood sample?
A sample? I'm not going to take a sample of him.
I was just a thought. I thought, since you had it pretty calmed down.
It seems pretty depressed, as I would.
What, do you,
Just
do you have any
give it.
candy or something? I know that.
Ain't exactly a human kid, you know? What was its composition when you were doing its bioscans?
It was a combination of carbon and another material that I'm not really sure what it is. It's definitely primary, a carbon-based life form, but there's something else in there. It almost seems man-made in its creation. Or, I don't want to say man-made, synthetic, I guess would be a better word.
What would you think of as a suggested diet for it? I'm assuming it has to be something heavy in mineral compounds.
Yeah, I'd almost think that for its diet, it should probably take something heavy in calcium. Maybe a thick bone. It might not be quite as much as what they, the material that they need, but it might satiate any type of hunger that it has.
I'll head over to the food replicator and I'll start entering in the various codes to make a calcium-based dish, and it would just look like as it forms, it'll look like almost like a brick in a way in its shape and composition, but it'll be a bit softer. Grabbing it, he'll then take it and kind of hold a piece up to it.
It'll look up and it'll just sort of lunge out and bite into the side of it and like sort of crack, snap off a corner of it and start chewing.
There you go, little guy. There you go.
One of the legs will sort of kick up and knock the brick out of your hand, and then it'll catch it with its other hand, start gnawing on it.
He'll lean down and he'll go, we ask before we take things. Alright?
Yeah.
He needs such table manners to him. He'll then take the smaller one that is not living, and he'll try to scoop it back up into another container while still cleaning up the goopy mess around. Hey, don't get attitude with me. He's still here, or it's still here. Just put him in the container. You can look at him right there, all you like.
It'll sort of lunge over and grab it by the leg and sort of drag it back over towards it. Sort of holding it like a decaying rag doll.
Is it still liquefying?
Yeah, it's sort of like dripping and melting off of the bones and pouring out of the carapace. It still has some substance to it, though.
Yeah, we'll walk over. He'll kind of kneel down. What do you plan on doing with that?
It takes a large bite out of the torso.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Doc, are you all right?
No, I'm fine. You?
Oh, gee.
So you still think it's intelligent?
Yeah.
It's a monster, Theo. Remember when it stabbed you through the body?
He'll hold up his hand. I think I very much remember that still. That memory's still fresh in my mind. But we just negotiated a peace treaty between us and its people. I think it would be...
What if they're not the same ones? What if they're different? Like, what if his clan is different from theirs or something? Like, they're different. You know, they could be like Earther and Gungeon and Maverick. You know, they might be. This might be the blah blahs, and the Koshlush might be the others, and maybe the Koshlush are the the kind ones, and the blah blahs are not.
You make a very good point, but I just don't know. Besides, it's practically a kid by our standards. It really doesn't.
It like rips off one of the legs and starts sort of sucking the marrow out from the inside.
Well, technically, by gross standards, it's actually coming up on teenage years.
Yeah.
Humans, it's the worst time.
Well, that's probably true. But in any case, it's still an individual that does not. It has no allegiances yet. It's just what it is. And if we were to start attacking and killing it, well, we would be no better than they are. And I believe in being better than that to some.
What if it has some form of DNA-based intelligence?
What difference would that make?
Well, it might be almost like it's pre-programmed to be a certain way. Like, our society, society might not have anything to do with how it acts. It might be wherever it's born from.
It vomits up the flesh that it just ate.
Oh, that's
yeah.
gross.
Yeah, you didn't like that, did you? I'll pat it on its back. Like, all right, out with it.
I don't want to kill it, Theo. I don't want to kill anything, really. I just don't. I'm just concerned that we're not going to get it off the ship quick enough for it to be safe.
Well, that's what I'm depending on Kazuko for. I want it off the ship as much as anybody else. We just have to take our time, I suppose.
It lunges and sort of splats into Theo and starts to cuddle.
Yeah, they're there.
Getting alien vomit all over you.
Oh, jeez.
Theo, you're going to have to go through the full decom later.
We're going to have to decom this entire ship.
Well, at least the med bay, we're in the med bay, which can be manually done. So that's good.
I got to manually do the rest of it. There's the ship downstairs. That's all covered in goop and stuff. We still have to clean that up. And On's still down there inside Genu. Oh, so much stuff to repair. Why did their ships have to be shaped like a spear in the first place?
I don't know.
Nightmare.
Must be aesthetically pleasing to them, maybe?
Well, I mean, it is effective after all, but gosh, what a terrible way to have to repair everything. And I basically have to rebuild half the frame of the ship again. Not to mention all the microfractures. Oh, man. Ugh. Hey, how open is that place you all went to? What was it called? The The Escape?
I don't remember the name, to be honest with you. But it was amazing. I collected hundreds and hundreds of DNA samples, and it was just an amazing night. Hopefully I'll come across another place like that. They said it was some sort of franchise.
Oh, that's right. Out of the box. I've been stuck doing these repairs. I've been forgetting that, and not only that, there's also the that massive death machine outside.
Yeah, the big robot-looking thing. Is that actually dangerous? It didn't look that dangerous. It looked like it was.
Are you kidding me? It's a NWOD. It's one of the most dangerous types you can ever run across.
Huh.
It was an ancient model that we found out there. Generation 1.
Well, then it's extremely old. It's probably not as effective, right?
No, it's still effective. Luckily, though, we handled it. Theo will kind of just adjust his belt a little bit, and as he says that, there'll be a sort of a pride in his voice.
Well, sure it's not as deadly as thorium blood mold. That'll wipe out a couple planets.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can give you that. I mean, when it comes to the biological hazardous chemicals and stuff, of course, but this is a NWOD we're talking about. This thing alone could devastate an entire city if left unchecked. And they're merciless, too.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the Gungeon would allow the AIs to run anything that is so devastating like that. That makes no sense.
Actually, it makes a lot of tactical sense coming from their standpoint. AI units don't falter, and you won't really suffer any actual casualties as far as lives are concerned. They can be replicated, duplicated, and manufactured on a mass scale.
They're so effective, how come the Gungeons haven't taken over?
Well, that's because there's all kinds of reasons for that. The NWODs, while they are extremely powerful, are limited. The fuel source that they utilize is also rare. It also limits the quantity and number that they can make. And because of that, they can't afford to spread themselves too thin.
So the only thing that's preventing them from taking over the universe is a better power source?
Well, I mean, it's powered by trigenium, and that's only produced on Ganymede.
Is it naturally occurring, or is it a synthetic man-made material?
A combination of both. Part of the main components are found on Ganymede, but then the process to produce it often occurs there, and so you can produce trigenium that way. But the most important components of it are found on Ganymede. But that's a hotly disputed sector. Theo will then start patting down the little quay on his that's clinged onto his chest. There, little guy. You all right now?
He seems to be pretty happy chewing on the little calcium brick.
All of a sudden you see Colt start going through his data pad really quickly, almost frantically as he starts pulling up information. It's like when you said Draginium, it made me think, and he's looking and he kind of showed you bringing up two DNA models. One that has the Triginium, which is probably data stores, and the second has a material that's very similar to that, except that it has 3 other connector points. He's like, this is the material that I didn't know, it's an unknown material that the Quay have in their bodies and their systems. It seems to be related. I'm not a chemist or,
What the... He'll kind of walk over with the little clay attached to
The
him.
thing hanging off you. Yeah.
He'll start typing it in. If you combine these two chemical mixtures here, just by separating these two, you could... Oh no. These little guys could be used to make triginium.
So this is the reason why they're powered, why the heat gives off so much energy.
That would explain a lot of it. There's a lot of radioactive heat that can be emitted to this process of somewhat natural decay. I will also think that it's a mixture of it. Triginium on its own is a highly powerful radioactive substance that does produce a lot of heat. But at the same time, if you separate its main components, you can also create a substance that can still produce the heat quality, but without the radiation. They must have that other base component. It must be Tridicylide. That's what they have inside of them. That must be the component.
You see Cole bring up some more information on that. Obviously he doesn't know what that is. He looks at the molecule. He's like, that seems to work.
Tridicylide is naturally occurring on gadamine. It's found in the deeper layers of the planet's crust. It's a very coarse material. It's very siliconous in nature.
So it has a silicon base, but not completely.
Right.
Which fits completely with the way that Quay's biology works.
Fascinating. It means that whatever homeworld that they grew or evolved from, it was highly rich with the substance.
Also makes me wonder if Ganymede might have passed through the rift first. Or at a different time.
A different time? What do you mean?
What if the rift, randomly opens, or it was, manually created? Possible that it happened at one time and this came through, this planet Ganymede came through. Though we really haven't found any other research on anything else, so it's just strange that only one planet out of all of them has. I know when we first entered the stars, we thought that there was only water on Earth that made it unique, but we found that that's not true.
That's quite the theory. Why don't you publish this in a paper at some time? I'm sure you'll be recognized in the local Maverick rings.
That's not really my thing. I'd rather deal with the biology of the Quay. I think that's where the real prestige is going to come from, I think. So, Theo, you're welcome to take that information and use it however you want.
Thank you.
I think that we are allowed to name that secondary material that they're made of. Do you have any ideas?
Well, the secondary material in and of itself is quite strange. How about Quilathium?
Quilathium. Nice. I like it.
It sort of matches them. It is somewhat their lifeblood, it appears. And it appears, if we look here at this mixture, there's just enough of it to prevent the toxicity from affecting their biological components, their single cells, it appears.
Yeah, it looks like the byproduct of the chemical reactions between them create that acid that they create in those little satchels.
Their purpose is still quite unknown. Do you think that this little guy was affected by the same things that's been affecting us?
I've never seen things just float. And I've seen some crazy things. I mean, I would not expect Longbeard to pick up, an 800-pound head like it was nothing. There's definitely something affecting us. I mean, have you noticed anything new?
No, I did notice there have been strange things going on board the ship.
All right, how about we change scenes again, back to the cockpit, to Kazuko and Bryce.
Okay, so as I was saying, Bryce, do you feel like taking a field trip with me?
I'm not sure how useful. Okay, yeah, I probably will be of use. Well, I guess we've already established certain protocols informally. Yeah, sure. What should I bring with?
Well, we'll just have the translators with us. And we're going to have to find the environmental suits that'll fit and a little bit of luck, and we'll see what happens.
Well,
oh, and something to possibly identify, or there may be some Quay equipment that we stumble upon where we may need to analyze it or link up with it, possibly.
wait, where exactly are we planning on meeting them?
Well, we have to go down to their colony, and as you know, the Quay, they can exist in environments that are a little bit harsher than ones we're used to, hence the environmental suits. And I don't know what we're going to encounter down there, so it may be a situation where we have to kind of do a little snooping.
Are we best to bring the bioscanners then?
Yeah, that would be wise.
Okay, I know more or less how they operate, or we could, well, just be the two of us.
Well, I can check and see if either Theo or the doctor see what they're in the middle of, but I think that ultimately it's going to be up to initially me, and I need some help from you to make sure that A, we can find out what's going on with the signal, and B, we can also figure out some kind of way to hand over the Quay child to them with as little incident as possible.
Right. And I suppose someone will have to be here looking after it while we're doing the talking.
That's true.
Okay. I'll go suit up and meet you at the umbilical.
Okay. All right. I'll contact the med bay. Doctor, you there?
Well, this is Colt. Go ahead.
Okay, Doc. Bryce and I are we're headed down, and we're gonna talk to the Quay and see if we can figure out some kind of way to hand the child back over to them. And we also, just so you know, we kind of picked up some type of errant signal emanating from the Quay colony. We don't know exactly from where, but while we're down there, I figured we'd kind of maybe try to find out what's going on with that. I don't know if it's a distress beacon or something, but I don't know. Looks interesting.
Okay, are you taking the shuttlecraft?
Is there any other way for us to get down there? I guess we'd have to, right?
Yeah. Technically, the ship is like 15,000 kilometers away from the base, so you guys will have to take. I guess you'll have to take a shuttle. Probably off the Ashkel. You know what ship? The big one.
Okay.
The Ageless?
There you go. That thing.
Okay. Okay. Well, just so you guys know what we're up to, and we'll keep you posted. How's the little guy, by the way?
Theo has him extremely calm at the moment, very docile. We've gave him some little crackers to chew on. made of bone. That's pretty useful to know.
Okay.
I think we'll be okay. But the quicker we can get him off the ship, I mean, he is growing at a fantastic rate.
Okay, we'll head down there and see what we can do.
Over and out. Just keep in touch. Our comms will still be connected. Well, still
Okay.
well within range.
Okay.
And if you need, we'll wake up Longbeer and, I guess, have him fly the battleship into position to destroy the colony. I'm joking.
Yeah, with us down there.
No, we would not do that. No. He's safe.
Okay, we'll do. Okay, all right. So I'll meet Bryce at the umbilical, and we'll get into the shuttle or jump ship, and head down to the colony.
Yeah. When you see Bryce by the shuttle, he's sort of tentatively carrying a rifle and asking, "Are we going to need anything with us in case?"
What are you gonna do with that?
Right. Fine. You're right. They'd overrun us anyway. He tosses it down and hops in the shuttle.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm assuming you can pilot this thing?
That I can.
I knew it was a good idea to bring you along.
Well.
And I kind of tap Bryce on the shoulder and I say, and just for the record, we can never really be too sure. And I'll kind of point to the side of the chair, and there'll be two pistols there.
Okay. Bryce just kind of nods solemnly and starts engaging the thrusters, or at least doing systems checks.
While he's doing that, I'll still kind of monitor the signal to see if there's any kind of change, and it seems to still be fairly standard and still steady.
Well, let's hope you'll be able to eke some insight out of them. I mean... Sorry?
No, go ahead.
I suppose I could try. But that seems... Well... Let's not mention I'm doing that to them.
Well, unless they're in the middle of some type of mating ritual or some gladiatorial games or something that we haven't encountered yet, I think our chances are pretty good at pulling this off.
You think that they're sending sporting statistics over the long-range transmitters?
Honestly, a little voice inside of my head tells me that it may actually be a relay with coordinates, possibly. Maybe letting someone else know that where they are for some reason or another. It's possible, you know.
Well, with any luck, we'll know soon enough. Are you buckled in?
All set, ready to go.
Theo will then chime in and goes, hey guys, do you think I could just show up there and we just take the little guy with us? Get it all done in one trip?
You guys are more than welcome. The more the merrier.
Alright, I'll be down there. Just hold on.
Just make sure you got the kid contained, because if we get a leak in this thing, it's not going to end pretty.
It's fine. It's fine. He'll produce like 5 more of those calcium bricks.
Colt checks his pistol, puts it back in its holster, grabs a few medical supplies, and goes with him. Just
on the way down there, Theo will look at you and say, "Oh, I think we'll have to replace this suit when we're done."
Yeah,
luckily,
luckily,
this is the environmental suit, and I don't have to worry about my actual jumpsuit being ruined.
Well, we have so many environmental suits between all the ships that I'm not really even concerned. We might want to just incinerate them.
That might be best. And here we go walking in.
All right, gang's all here mostly. Welcome aboard.
Everyone comfortable?
Theo will sit down awkwardly with the little guy hanging off him. There you go.
It's got the brick about half eaten by this point.
Yep, you keep eating that brick, little guy. Pats him on the back. And then he'll look at you while giving you the signal to go. Let's do this.
All right. Does this use a grav drive too?
Yeah, I pretty much. I think everything does.
Oh, it's just standard. Okay. Well, that kicks in. We get that lurch that we're used to, and it just sort of fires out through the docking bay doors and starts a slow arc towards the dome that the Quay have commandeered.
Yeah, you'll see that all the other ships are completely out of view now, since they've covered them up with asteroids, like debris and particles.
I wonder if they're deliberately camouflaging it, or if it's just some sort of... Maybe they're creating structure within that debris.
Well, yeah, look. Can't you see there's actually a few, looks like figures floating in between the asteroids.
They do work quickly.
It would make sense for them to cover their vessels up like that. It provides excellent shelter and protection from micrometeors, as well as providing a means of camouflage.
Yeah, but camouflage from who?
Well,
I don't know. Maybe it's just like a natural instinct they have.
They are being hunted. Where are we touching down?
Just maybe about 5 kilometers or so away from the Quay colony. See where all of their ships are pretty much burrowed into the asteroid over there in that cluster. Somewhere about over in there.
All right, if everyone's out for a bit of a walk. Bryce eases it over towards there, while keeping an eye on the sensors to make sure that there are no reactions that are too startled coming from the creatures themselves.
Yeah, maybe not so many kilometers away, but, we don't want to go right in their midst.
I understand.
So far, there's been no abrupt action.
Okay, Bryce glides the thing down gently in a fairly open area, and engages some clamps at the base of it so that it doesn't shift while we're gone. Thankfully, this section is slightly ferrous, so he can apply some mags to it too. So it's a steady clamp.
Did anybody let the captain know that he was probably going to be the one to maybe keep an eye on Longbear?
Well,
I thought you all kind of covered that one. He'll
Long
start
is
scratching his
asleep.
head.
Well, don't worry about it. I have a camera on Longbeard at all times, so.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean,
All right.
don't. I mean, security wise, yeah. I was worried about him being stimmed, so.
Oh, okay.
There is Pond there to watch as well.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so Kazuko will unbuckle and I guess seal his containment suit and kind of look and wait for everyone else to gather together, and we'll open up the lock and walk out once everybody's all set. Everybody ready?
Yep, as ready as I'll ever be. He'll get up slowly and awkwardly with the... Yeah, I hear you there. Here's another calcium break for you. Go ahead and eat that one.
Bryce glances down at the weapons by our seats and says, well, these won't do us much good left here. Should we holster them?
Bryce, I'm once again glad you're here, buddy. Yeah, I'll walk over and grab one and strap it on, and then check to make sure that the translator is strapped like right to the left chest area of my environmental suit. And
Theo will take his and he'll put it in his boot. And then take the sleeve of the environmental suit and cover over top of it.
Yeah, Bryce makes no attempt to conceal his.
all right, with a whoosh, I'll open up the door, and we'll walk out.
One of the first
As
things
we,
you guys see is the blue of the rift on the horizon.
There's like a surprising amount of ambient light that's kind of bleeding off the rift, you know, and it's almost like twilight in this area because I guess unlike the human colonists, it appears that the Quay don't really have a need for an extreme amount of light themselves. So it's kind of like kind of a jarring situation to see pretty much how kind of dark and kind of foreboding this area appears as we kind of continue on.
I still don't know whether to be drawn to that or repulsed by it. Bryce says, kind of staring up at the rift.
Well, you can't deny its beauty, though.
No. No, you can't.
Beautiful things are often the most deadliest.
Theo, I'm not surprised at all that you said that.
He'll just kind of rub the back of his head a little bit and shrug his shoulders.
As we get closer, we can kind of see that there's like actually the ground itself. It gets a lot more rocky because of all the impacts that the ships had in the terrain, you know. And there's actually a little bit of scattered debris here and there, but the majority of it looks like has been amazingly. It's already been kind of either cleaned up or harvested or, you know, something like that. And it looks like the Quay have like temporarily constructed these kinds of like bio shelters that are, fairly roughshod looking, but they seem to be, well built, kind of nevertheless, out of the ship's components.
You'll see that the small Quay child that's clenched onto the side of Theo doesn't really seem to be bothered by the fact that it is in void and doesn't have a spacesuit on. It looks around from time to time, then it goes back to chewing on its brick.
As we're just about right at the edge of the colony, and Kazuko kind of points at the ground, and it looks like there's like you guys know how a vein of like silver or some type of a ore vein kind of looks in the earth. It kind of looks like that, except it's almost like a pale grayish type of material that's real porous looking, and it looks like it's almost it almost looks like it's growing out of the ground almost. What do you guys make of that?
Colt kneels down and starts scanning it, scraping up a small bit of it, putting it in his scanning device. It seems to be organic, probably secreted from something. Then Colt begins to look around as if like there would be something right there secreting it.
I think whatever's secreting it might be under the ground. Like it's been planted.
Two of the Quay will emerge from the debris around you, probably about 10 meters away from you. And they'll sort of stand there, looking with their red eyes.
All right, I'll clear my throat and step forward and kind of give a glance towards Theo and kind of wave my hand at him as to just kind of hold your ground for a moment, give me a chance here. And I'll walk up and I'll put both hands up at head height, and I will say greetings. Tim, why are you laughing?
Well, you're in the void of space standing on an
Oh,
asteroid.
yeah, that's right. You are right. I'm sorry.
You're talking
you're right.
in your
Think
helmet.
about that. I realize how stupid that is.
It's not stupid.
Shake my head.
It's kind of comical. We'll just say that Kazuko didn't think about that.
He didn't, because he's nervous. He kind of turns around and looks, and he goes, "They can't hear me." And then I look at Bryce and I go, I feel like an idiot. One thing that I haven't even looked into was actually any kind of written communication with them.
Well, to be fair, we haven't really received much in the way of samples of that kind of thing from them.
You'll
what
see
would
one
we base it off of?
One of their arms just sort of point towards the evacuated dome the colonists had set up for them. And they sort of part, and just both of them lift up their arms and point that way.
All right. Thank the heavens for that. Okay.
You'll see that the second one looks at the child, and like her eyes are locked.
Okay. All right. I'd say single file, people. Let's keep it moving. Let's go this way.
When you guys pass between them, the one that was staring at the child reaches out and tries to like violently rip it off of Theo.
Instinctive.
Okay.
Sorry,
boy.
go ahead.
Oh boy.
So
Theo
basically, you see the arm jutting out, looking like it's going to grab. So, what do you do in reaction to that?
I just have my hands up, going, just like trying to communicate that this is what we're here for. I just point at the thing, just point at the little thing.
And Bryce, seems like you're doing something.
Yeah, Bryce quickly runs surface thoughts on her, just to make sure that it's not going to eat the kid or anything.
You get this sensation of hatred. Corrupt one. What other thoughts might you have? Unholy one. Things like that.
Guys, Bryce is talking over comms. I don't think that they are recognizing this as one of their own. At least she isn't.
With Theo just holding up his hands and pointing, it'll grab like the back of the neck of the child and sort of pull it towards it, and it hurls it to the ground of the asteroid. It sort of bounces in the low gravity, starts to drift at like an angle, like an arc. Like there is some gravity to the asteroid, but if you picture like the moonwalkers, there's just actually less gravity here than on the moon. So it's traveling probably about 40 yards through, and it seems like it's slowly making a descent to once again land onto the asteroid. It seems like it's squirming in zero gravity. It's still clutching onto the calcium brick, though.
Bryce has something hit him right in the back of the throat, and without even thinking about it, his hand is jerking towards the gun at his waist. He almost draws and fires, but his mind has just gone straight back to the image that he had from this thing's mother as it was dying, of its young ones or potential young ones, from when he had past thoughts run on it.
Yeah, you did see it with a litter of these small ones all around it. That was one of its dying thoughts.
But yeah, he's all tensed up now.
What was that about? Why did it do that for?
I'll kind of interject myself or interpose myself in between the assuming that it's a female and the rest of our party, fully knowing that if she wanted to, she could probably rip me in two. But Theo, do you have the child again?
It's right now. It's about 40 meters away from you guys.
Yeah,
flying
that's
far. Okay.
there.
Can anybody get it?
Bryce has it.
Okay.
In an instant, he is over there, next to it. It's you can't. It doesn't register how fast it is.
Wow.
He's using the speed of sound power.
Okay. You'll see the Quay sort of looks strangely. It starts to with its four legs just sort of gallop over towards Bryce. The other one just has its arm outstretched pointing towards the dome. It's not doing anything else. Sort of standing immobile, immovable.
Let's just head to that dome quickly.
Okay. All right. Okay, we can start moving towards the dome. Wow. But keeping an eye on Bryce to make sure he's not, to see if he can still keep free of the Quay's clutches.
The Quay seems like it's basically charging Bryce.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing.
Oh, use your boosters, Bryce! Use them! And he'll hit his. He'll hit his on his suit, and you'll just do a jettison of air, and he'll just rocket forward.
Yeah, they're maneuvering
Thrusters.
Thrusters, yeah.
Yeah, Bryce doesn't seem to be using that at all. It's like he's running on instinct and like reflex. So it's all limbs. But
they're probably seeing your limbs move quickly, like almost like a blur, I guess.
It would certainly appear that way, especially in the lower light that the Quay use. He is already next to the group within moments, and then it's just questioning, guys, should I bait it away, or should I? He can't get the words fast enough to convey his question, so he's just all shaking and holding on to this thing and moving.
Oh, just get to the door, hurry!
It'll start charging. It's like about 40 meters away, but it'll start to run at the group. The other one's just standing there pointing at the dome.
Kazuko kind of turns his head to one side, kind of squinting his eyes, and he thrusts his hands out at the quay and says, "Stop this now!" And some type of force seems to emanate from his hands and reaches out to kind of batter away or deflect the quay's momentum.
We'll see that the quay is sort of hurled down into the rocky dust of the asteroid, sort of like 45 degrees away from the direction she was traveling. Sort of just knocks her right. The quay don't really have an ass, but on its side.
Or abdomen.
I guess abdomen. Its legs are sort of sprayed out in 4 different directions.
Okay, and then he'll turn and he'll scream, "Run, run, hurry up!"
Theo's already hitting those boosters. he's jettisoned down.
You'll get to the airlock of the dome. It seems that there's nobody there.
All right, somebody hit the door control, the lever.
Theo will type in the door controls and the airlock will fill up with air. All right, there we go. We're inside now, gentlemen.
Did you see what the female did?
Yeah, I was there.
She could have killed us all.
Something about this one enraged. It's like a bird that. It's like an organism that's been raised by a creature not of its species, suddenly returning back to its home and being rejected. Or I guess it could just be that they're part of a different clan. I don't know.
Oh, great.
Kazuko kind of peers out of the grimy portal in the airlock to see if the quay are pursuing them or not.
You'll see that the one that was pointing seems to be holding the other one back.
Okay, I think we're okay. For now, anyway. Let's just get this over with.
Inside, you'll start to see that the modifications have already been started to be made by the quay. There's this living sort of coral-like organic stuff that's being sort of smeared on the outsides of the dome, and it looks like it's starting to creep upwards as it expands and grows. Inside, a lot of the lights have been turned off. There's just that dim sort of light. They've started to deconstruct a lot of the buildings and such that were in here. you actually see that the out of the box place has been probably about half dismantled by this point.
No.
Well, the upper part, right?
Yeah, the upper part. Mm-hmm.
You don't know about the lower part. It's still moving down there.
It still might be down there.
They're still just living it up in their modified gravity.
Maybe they didn't evacuate. Who knows? You see a lot of Quay building things and smearing that substance on the outside. You see little ones running around. Whenever you guys sort of move through areas, you see that they sort of stop and turn. And they're just staring.
I will kind of attempt to emulate the appendage pattern that the Quay did that we initially met the other day. And of course I'm making myself look like a fool, but Kazuko kind of, it looks more like he's doing some kind of stiff cheerleading maneuver, but he's attempting to do what he thinks to be almost like a Quay gesture of, hello or welcome or, something of that matter. So hopefully he doesn't get a spear thrown at him or something.
You'll see a particularly large specimen, probably about 15 feet tall, moves forward in front of Kazuko. And it'll start to lower itself slowly, inch by inch, on its four legs down to a place that's easier to see your face.
Okay, I'll make note of his heat signature.
It's about 105 degrees, you're guessing.
Okay, so I think he's a little either interested or a little perturbed. I'll kind of look over my shoulder. Guys, you getting this? You back there?
I'm getting this, says Theo, and he's kept far a little way back, and he looks at Bryce and goes, you might want to present the little guy to him.
There's about 30 different Quay that are sort of standing around you and looking on.
Doc, can you tell what the atmosphere is like in here?
Doc looks up at you. He's like, "What? Well, you know it's like honey."
Kazuko winks around.
Like, what did you ask me? I'm sorry, Kazuko. What did you ask me?
How's the atmosphere in here? Is it okay? Can I fully take off my
oxygen levels are low. No bad gases or anything. It's like being up in high altitude, by about 10,000 feet. You should be perfectly fine.
Okay, sounds kind of thin to me, but okay. All right, Kazuko, he'll decompressurize his helmet. Take it off with a hiss of gas, and he'll hello.
Are you using your translator?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it actually has a very tinny, artificial, metallic sound to it as I speak into it as it translates. So it's very basically the problem with the translator is that inflection is not reproduced very accurately.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's looking right in your eyes.
Okay.
And then its vision shifts to the little one that's snacking on the.
It's still eating. Okay.
Still eating on the brick. Yeah, it's gotten like halfway through the second brick that Theo gave him, and he looks right back into Kazuka's face, and then just one of its arms just sort of punch out and hit Kazuko like pretty hard in the center of the chest.
I am hurled back, not expecting that, and land on my back, a few feet away, gasping for air. And actually, I'm having problems because the air is thin here, so I'm kind of there wheezing on the ground, trying to catch my breath.
You'll hear a clicking noise coming out of its mouth.
At this point, I think Bryce uses crowd scan, draining the last of wherever that sense of power comes from. And that is an ability that allows him to hear the surface thoughts of all the people within range, and it's like medium range.
You'll see, it's kind of strange. Half of them seem to not care what's going on. They're sort of just, what are these strange ones that are coming? The 2 feets. That seems to be some sort of term that, the 2-footed ones, something like that. That's bouncing around their head. And then the other ones are, you can almost as you just scan and you see, okay, those ones are warmer. Oh, those ones are warmer. The ones that are warm are saying things like cursed, infected, worthy of slaughter. Like, kind of horrible, thoughts of breaking the child open and dumping it out on the ground.
It's not going to be welcomed back, Kazuko. You have to make a call, Bryce says, looking down at him.
Okay,
It reaches out its hand and points at the child again.
Kazuko, he kind of rears back in horror as he understands or believes he understands the words unclean, unworthy.
It'll grab one of the acid pouches and hold it out in front of it and just squeeze quickly, and the acid will start to drain through his hand. And it actually seems like the acid is burning its own hand. Like you'll hear a shh, and the pool on the ground. It actually looks like it was grass, plantings and things like that, turf, but the acid is burning the grass there as well.
All right. I don't think this is going to work.
Theo will then he'll take off his helmet, and as he does so, he'll look at the creature and be like, "What is wrong with it? Isn't it one of your kids? Come on!"
It starts to slowly walk over towards Theo, 1 foot planting into the ground. It seems like every time it takes a step, the sharp, angular foot sinks further and further into the ground. The heat starts to emanate from its chest.
Panic will ensue inside Theo, and then Theo will, in turn, begin to emit his own heat out of a reaction through his Kaizen powers. And you'll start to feel heat emanating off of Theo now at this point.
Interesting.
Like a mixture of frustration and stuff.
Is there anybody standing near Theo?
Colt is looking. He actually looks up from the data pad now. He hasn't really been paying much attention. Looks over and sees like Kazuko kind of half kneeling on the ground and all everything that's been going on. He's like, "Oh," he's like, "Wow, Theo, whoa!" And he kind of like backs off from you, seeing you slightly glowing. He's like, "Are you okay?"
Theo seems he's locked eyes at this point. His normal hand is actually somewhat shaking, but his mechanical one is not.
You see the carapace of the creature start to expand. It seems that 15 feet tall was its base height.
Theo, I think it thinks you're challenging it.
Well, maybe I am. Well, what did it say? Come on.
You don't want to know what it said. Trust me.
I don't care.
Calm down.
Tell me what it said.
It said something about your questionable parentage and that it would gladly rip you into and feast on your innards. And that's me taking out all the really naughty bits.
Well, I don't care how it feels. We just risked our lives just to get down here so we can deliver this kid to you all. And you all gonna act like this. What's wrong with you?
You'll see the probably about 12 of the ones that are in the circle that have started to get a warm heat signature are starting to move towards the center of the circle where you are. They're not moving quickly, but just like a step here, a step there.
I'll unholster my pistol.
Theo will walk over, he'll grab the little one, and he'll hold him up to him like, what is wrong with him?
You'll see the head of the big one whip around and look at Kazuko.
I'll say we've brought back your young. We only wish for you to care for it and raise it as one of yours. It is a gesture of goodwill and peace on our behalf.
Its left hand sort of reaches up and smashes its right sort of bicep. And you see this symbol that's sort of burned, cracked in the carapace. Sort of an intricate looking sigil or just sort of almost like a carved thing into its shoulder. And then it points at the little one and makes this like breaking gesture.
I think the other one is from a different caste or tribe, maybe. I don't have any.
Where's that tribe from? We'll just. Oh man.
Crowd scan lasts for 7 minutes. Do I have any way of verifying whether that's the idea?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. You seem to think that this one is a child of another clan. That's another sort of extended family is what you get. And they are currently at like a blood feud with them.
Of course.
Yeah, I think you have the right idea there, Kazuko. They're in a feud with this one's clan.
You start to see images of them breaking him open and drinking the liquid that comes out. Very visceral, violent, destructive, not necessarily torturous, but it seems like acts that would discredit or make the clan that this child is a part of lessened.
You need to decide whether we're going to let them destroy a child, Kazuko.
Bryce, when you put it like that, how can I agree to that? When the words destroy and child they
Fine,
just don't go
we'll
together.
rephrase it. Do we allow them to eliminate the unwanted element?
Theo, you're the dad. What do you want to do?
I'm not the dad. I don't know. What if we just walk back out of here with it? What'll happen then?
Well, either way, we have to decide the child's fate. And I don't want the child to be left here to be brutally murdered by another clan.
Well, okay, then just tell them that. Sorry we brought him here. We didn't know, and we'll just go on our way.
All right, I'll limp over to the large one, and I'll attempt to stand up at my full height, which is still tiny beneath him, and I will say, we will take the unclean one back with us so that he can bring no dishonor amongst your people and not taint you with his presence. We apologize for this intrusion, and then I'll slowly back away.
And what does that sound like in Quay?
Well, the translator's doing it, so no, okay.
Oh, no.
That was the whole point.
Oh, okay. So I guess the machine's making the sounds. Okay, all right. I'll let you slide this time.
And I'll turn to everyone and I'll say, okay, let's slowly move back towards the airlock, and I'll stand where I am just in case I have to attempt to take a shot at this thing with my pistol while the rest of the guys are moving back.
I'll just begin marching. Theo will now be moving slowly. He's still emitting quite a bit of heat, and he's just putting on his suit.
Is anything catching fire? Like, how hot are we talking here?
Let's see here. Let me look at my Kaizen powers.
You got a bunch of different ones that do heat things.
What if it radiates off your skin or off like a certain distance past your skin?
What if it's
Like,
burning up all the oxygen?
Burn the suit up, like all the oxygen out of it.
Actually, you'll find that as he walks with the suit on, he'll actually collapse a little bit, and you'll take the suit back off, like.
Why?
Oh, scorching eye.
Colt runs up to you and he's like, "Are you okay?"
Let's see. You will actually see what looks like little flames, little sparks coming off his body.
You better sedate him.
What? I can't just chemically treat him. I don't know what's causing the flames.
You chemically treat everybody. What are you talking about?
Well, I know whether they're not on fire when I'm treating them.
Theo will hold out his hands and go, hold. Okay. And like the heat will
breathe.
The heat will dissipate.
All right. When he gets in close, the doctor kind of like pulls your eye down, like the skin in front of your eye to look deep into your eye. He's like, "Do you look okay? Do you feel better? Was it just lack of air?" Or?
When the doc does that, the little creature sort of takes this aggressive stance and sort of slaps his hand away.
Ow! Ow! For a split second, the doc, like, his pistol moves towards the creature. He's like, "Well, what am I doing?" No. This time without touching you, he kind of just looks closely at you. He's like, "You look okay. Come on." And he tries to help Theo up reaching them.
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't know what that was.
The child sort of
looks like you're turning into Parkway.
The child sort of snaps his teeth together a few times at the doctor.
Theo will look down at it and go, You just calm down.
Shh, choppers. Shh. Once Theo's up and he's starting moving, Cole takes a couple steps towards Kazuko, holding out his pistol kind of in a flashy style, and he rubs his shoulder, and you kind of feel like all the pain that's in your leg and your chest just kind of dissipates. He's like, "Let's go, Kazuko. Come on, let's hurry up."
Wow, okay. Kazuko kind of lets out a sigh of relief, and kind of still like reflexively kind of rubs his arm that was previously wounded and kind of follows in almost like a daze. And wow, that was great. And he follows the doc.
The doc gives you a kind of quizzical look through his face mask. Yeah, you always pat people on the shoulder. You'll be all right.
The large specimen that knocked you to the ground and was making all kinds of horrible threats towards Theo, it has been walking slowly behind you, and it's pointing towards the exit.
All right, where's Bryce? Is Bryce with us?
Bryce has been keeping pace with Theo.
Okay.
And it says one final thing.
You guys do not want to know what that was.
And yet, unfortunately, Bryce does.
Yeah. So we need to know now.
So Bryce, what did he say?
He said, "What?"
I said, "Don't hold back."
Alright. You will choke on the ash of your own eggs as your species withers
Sweet. There you go. Yep.
down your entire line of descendants.
That was a curse.
This curse is now yours as well as its.
Theo will then clench his fist and he'll turn around and shout back, "Well, your mother! How about them apples?"
You'll see that it makes this quick sort of chopping motion, and it breaks off one of its own fingers,
Oh, wow.
and it just sort of pulls it out. You can see like these weird like tendon like structures just coming out of its fist, and it just starts spraying the blood off of these tendrils in your direction.
These things are insane. Who does that? Nobody does that.
They do it. Well, they do have extreme abilities to regenerate. Sure, breaking off the finger is not a big deal to them. Quickly, let's go outside.
Theo just like, Theo will he'll just lift up his arms and be like, "I'm not gonna pull off my own limbs. Forget that. Let's just go."
I guess I was wrong. How could I have been so wrong about these beings? How did I not see this coming?
Because they're psychopathic crustaceans.
This was supposed to be something for the history books where we make
Oh, it'll go in the history book.
where we make contact with another sentient race and can learn from each other, not potentially be at war again.
You know, if they make any moves towards that, towards those peaceful people, it's going to be curtains for them.
Theo, is your EV suit fastened again?
It's fine. That's all
Bryce
fast.
punches in the numbers to open the door.
Telling me my ancestors will choke. I'd have put him in a stupid crab bait, send him down. How about that?
You don't even have eggs. Huh.
Well, technically, never mind.
I don't have an egg.
You know, the sooner we can get this little guy back to its own people, the better. Or its clan, or whatever.
What if we killed the last of them?
Now we exterminated a bloodline? We're no better than those guys back there.
No, that bloodline deserved it.
It was in self-defense in either way. We couldn't
They
have
were going to
possibly
destroy
have
our ship. They attacked a Gungeon vessel, tried to kill everyone on board. They threatened us right from the beginning. Remember, they ripped the guy's head off and was showing us it? Almost making fun of us. Don't forget the atrocities. Don't forget. Just because you met one nice guy who gave you a big sword.
Theo begins to rub his side where he got stabbed.
Outside, you'll see that there's only one of the guards there, and it's just pointing out towards your ship.
Theo will then take the boosters and just fly right to it super fast.
Where you'll see the other Quay attacking your ship and doing vandalism to it.
What
You
the
gotta be
fuck?
kidding me.
You see it ripping like wires out. There's like
Oh.
there's like gas and stuff venting out into space.
Dude, they are so lucky that Long Bear and the captain are here.
You're not kidding.
Oh, no. They just attacked the ship. This is now
Yeah,
in
that's
Theo's
major.
court. That's, Theo is now furious. He'll actually take the little Quay off of him and, like, hand it off to Bryce.
Who grabs it?
And then I will,
What are we
and then
gonna do?
No, he's just jetting forward. He's like, I'm sick of these stupid crab creatures. No, 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 no. And he just bolts to them.
You can see that the heat is just radiating. You're surprised she isn't like melting into like a liquid form. She looks like she's so just on fire. Like there's no air to ripple between you and her, but she's just glowing.
I will also Theo will activate his resist heat 3. Where he can just ignore a lot of the heat coming off, and as he gets close, without even thinking, like he's just these things are occurring around him. He just like grabs into the side of the vessel, opens up a panel, pulls out a canister, looks directly at the creature, and then just like you see him in one swift motion open it up, and then like this jenison of like what looks like pure white smoke just blast at it.
You'll see that it starts to flail and move backwards. The low gravity just sort of takes it away with the pressure of the substance. You see it cracking and freezing in places. And it's just sort of drifting away, like flailing its arms and 4 legs. It's sort of just spinning and tumbling over itself.
Theo then takes it off and then puts it back into the ship, reconnecting it, looking back at it. Just staring. There's such an annoyance that he has with it now. There's like a degree of like now hatred. Also a mixture of fear as well.
You'll see that most of the damage is superficial, but if it would have been left to continue, it probably would have got to some vital places and parts of the ship. But it did do a lot of damage with just physical strength. It's kind of impressive.
Impressive. Most impressive.
Kind of reminds you of Longbeer, actually.
Theo will then kind of signal back to you guys. Come on, let's just get the hell out of here.
Okay.
Move on board.
Bryce passes the child back to one of the passenger positions as he sits down in the pilot seat again and starts checking systems and sort of looking back to Theo to see if the thruster line sounds right to him.
For some reason, the child seems more docile. You guys have been passing it around. It hasn't had any problems with that. It's just slowly just chewing on its brick. It almost seems closer to you in some ways.
Well, we just went to war for it.
It also may have, had a nasty impact on the head. Who knows? That might have messed it up a bit.
That's true, right? Yeah.
So you're all...
Hope was the one who ends up holding little whatever choppers, whatever you want to call them.
Choppers? Well,
choppers. I don't care.
You just gave it a name. So.
And he kind of like starts going over them and just using his ability to sense injury to see if there's anything actually injured with him. Now that that was brought up about him being slammed on the ground.
It seems that whatever he sustained is fine now.
Okay.
Theo's outside cursing to himself. It's audible over top of the mics because now he's just like he's not even hiding. He's like, God, what the hell? Now these cords have to be replaced. This whole thing's gone. I don't even know how it managed to get in there, but it did. The component here is well, this side of the computer's not going to be functioning, but she can still fly. He just sits down.
That's all I needed to hear.
With his arms folded.
In the monitor, you see that it must have finally landed, and it's charging back towards the ship.
Give me a quick list of what I need to compensate for, please, Theo, and buckle up.
Compensation, just throw in the algorithms of 72.5, Mark 13, and go at a 23-degree angle, starboard side.
Right. It lurches upwards, kind of uneasily at first, but eventually he kind of adjusts and feels like he has a bit more time to once there's some distance from the creature.
I'd also like to add that while the ship does this, Theo gave the coordinates precisely so that the ship is angled, so when the jet, so that whenever the ignition goes off, it hits the ground and then causes huge chunks to just blow back into the face of the creature.
I thought you were actually going to try to break
Never
it.
mess with an engineer.
Yeah, when that happens, Bryce will just be like, "Whoa, sorry guys, I didn't mean to. Must have messed up there."
Yeah,
They will look at you. Oh, it's okay. It's probably not pilot error. Might have been the coordinates.
So you guys fly onwards and upwards back to Useless and your ship. I think that's probably a good place to break.
That makes sense.
I'm thinking about calling this one "It's a Boy." I don't know what happened to Alikov. He's just sort of vanished halfway through.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
He's showing connected on my thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully he's okay. Let's see here. How about we start with Theo today, since he's a daddy. What do you think about today?
Actually, just, Alcock did actually mention earlier that he said he might have to go in and out. Like, I know when Alex said something earlier, Alikoff said he might have to do the same thing. So.
Oh, okay. By family?
He said something about family, so I think family were stopping by or something, so he might have got called off.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, Dada, what's going on, man?
Oh, that was interesting. I didn't think that was going to happen. That was an interesting turn of events. I will say that this is kind of strange because this will be interesting to play off of, but Theo has still got some fear with the Quay, and though he wasn't showing it the whole time, he was extremely afraid of this thing latched onto him the whole time. Yeah, he's just very eager to get rid of it and get it away from him. So it'll be interesting to see how this kind of tames him a little bit in terms of that. But I'll tell you what, now he's going to be paying a visit to the NWOD, and we'll just see. Yeah. Anyway, he's going to have a talk with Faceplate.
That'll be interesting. Do you have any? Does Theo have any attachment to the little one, the choppers, or not? It kind of seemed like he did a little bit.
I played it off like he did, but it was sort of like a pretending for him. Like he's pretending to have an attachment towards it.
I see.
But in reality, he is quickly afraid of it because he sees these things. He knows how big they are. He knows how fierce they are. He knows that, what seems like a light punch to them is like a knockout punch, as what happened to Kazuko. These things are just, crazy in many ways, physically and mentally. And, being that he survived being stabbed to the stomach through one, not too long ago, the memory is still burning inside, and he still has a lot of, bit of xenophobia, against him. So this little one here looks innocent, but at the same time, he's trying to balance out basically his glottorial instincts, his more primitive ones, and his more linear scientific mindset that he has, his more engineer mindset. Like the engineer, the scientist in him says, well, let's look at this from a logical perspective. Well, his other side is like looking at him saying, no, F that. This thing is going to grow up to be a monster. Just dump him off somewhere. Get rid of him. So that's sort of the things he's kind of dealing with. So I think he will have, I think he will grow a somewhat attachment over it because, with time he's going to eventually, begin to process it and get over it.
I think, too, as it starts to take on our mannerisms.
Yeah.
It's started, that'll make it a little bit easier. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it's not as crazy as, as its parents were or whatever.
It's more relatable.
A koi with human mannerisms might be pretty creepy.
It's true. It could be kind of that uncanny valley effect eventually.
Yep.
Well, I think it would be creepy amongst other Quay.
Oh yeah.
If you think about it, because like
They wouldn't trust him at all.
no, he would become an outsider inadvertently, which would be kind of strange.
That actually reminds me of the Man of Gold book from M.A.R. Barker. It's in the Tecmo setting. There's a human that's raised by the Pachoi, which are sort of these weird, strange, alien-esque creatures. And he grows up with them, so he has all these Pachoi mannerisms. And whenever another Pachoi sees him who doesn't know that he was raised that way, they're totally freaked out by him. Like, how on earth do you know that? You shouldn't be like that. Why am I so comfortable around you? You know, things like that. So. How about
maybe we actually have a pilot for our ship now.
Chopper's the pilot?
Chopper's the pilot. He's got the requisite legs.
Oh, he does,
That's true.
It's very true. And he'll be, well, if you give him enough nutrients, he'll be full size in a day and a half, right?
Yeah, we want to give him no more nutrients.
Is he going to be a miniature Quay?
Yeah, they're more adorable. They cost more.
And the doc can give him a voice box.
Oh, wow. You guys could do all kinds of funky stuff with technology, maybe.
It just had to be very heat resistant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is true.
I had a Gamorrean guard character in a Star Wars game that had this droid box implanted in his throat so that he could talk to people.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe you guys could do something like that.
Yeah, that's what
Well,
I
we've
was
already got the translator, so if we could just advance that.
Yeah.
That's pretty easy, actually, yeah.
We'll just go ahead and give him a Dalek voice and
Exterminate.
Hello, CEO, how are you?
Must kill the doctor. Poor Hulk. Why is he changing me?
Why doesn't he like me, guys? Man. How about you, David? What'd you think about today?
Good as usual. I was thinking that Kazuko is probably going to be freaking out a little bit because he feels responsible one way or the other for having a lot to do with getting the Quay here, and now things seem to be kind of going topsy-turvy. And I think it was kind of a slap in his face to kind of bring him into more of the line. He kind of stepped over into the captain's way of thinking a little bit. I mean, really, because apparently there are still many cultural things that obviously he isn't aware of, and that the Quay obviously can be very aggressive and warlike, and so he's he'll be struggling with that for a little while, so which will be kind of interesting, I think. And then he still is now doubly determined to find out what that signal is all about. When before he kind of didn't want to believe that there could be anything, dangerous or nefarious about it. And now he's like, well, maybe there is something going on with it. So
I was trying to do the Quay voice a little bit different today. It's sort of like, I don't know, like more hatred or something.
Yeah, is that possible?
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, that sounds hateful 24/7.
Did that come across that way, or did it just sound more of the same? I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, there's the whole physical description, which is one thing, and then along with the harsh Quay voice, I think a combination of those gives me a mental image, of what's going on. Yes, it did sound more aggressive because the Quay itself was being more aggressive. Does that make sense to you guys?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was trying to breathe inwards while I was making some of the noises too. I don't know if you caught that. Just using different techniques. So.
It was
It worked.
Okay, good.
I what I really like about that situation though is it is kind of a wake up call for us because while we did have success making a peaceful connection, we also then came to the realization, as David said, about The fact that it's a lot more complex than what we assumed. And at the same time now, I think we now realize that we're a lot more alike than what we would probably want to know, because just like us, they have different factions that they're not good with. So, like, these dudes might be like the Earthers to their Ganjins,
Yep. I don't know why, but I guess because of the way they are, I sort of picture Werewolf, the Apocalypse, Werewolf of Forsaken, or whatever. Like
that's a good comparison.
Just like their rage and I don't know, just the physicality of them, the size.
Well, and they do grow and shrink.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So yeah. Let's see here. Who we got left? How about Alex? What'd you think?
I certainly for the last half, I spent a lot of time just trying to process what kind of psychological impact this is going to have on Bryce, because he does have 8 days worth of memories from the one who we killed that was this one's mother. Which is probably thinking, or dwelling on the fact that their child was coming. And I'm wondering, like, whether he can necessarily separate those thoughts and instincts from his own 100%.
Oh, okay.
And whether that much time, or, that big chunk of experience can end up having an effect on his overall outlook, and maybe even his personality eventually. I don't know. Like,
when you say that kind of stuff, I kind of think like maybe you had like an 8-hour pregnancy, if that sounds kind of strange. Like,
yeah.
Like the waiting, the anticipation, and now you see it. So, I don't know. That's just something to play with. You can have fun with that one.
I think that'd be very interesting.
Like, just from my own life experience, just the anticipation of my son Wes, and then like when he came out, like we had names picked. It was like, well, that's Wes. Wow, that's the person we've been waiting for so long. It's a pretty wild experience, but it's a lot different if it's an alien.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. You probably got all sorts of jumbled up thoughts and emotions in there, maybe.
Well, and I was trying to keep it so that Bryce was sort of trying to keep his distance at first, but as soon as there was a threat for the child, I can only imagine an instinct kicking in. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see where that goes.
It's funny too, because I was totally planning on you guys just taking wherever you guys wanted to go today, and then you're like, oh, we're going to go in the old ship. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I got that written down. I guess we got to deal with that one. Because I was just going to have it start rummaging and starting to like sort of make it the old ship here, its home. Let's see here. Who have we got left? I guess John. I guess you're last.
Yeah, I mean the little Chomper's there. He's obviously all I did was play the Doctor the whole time, so which is a little weird to play someone else's character. Whole section without even touching your character, but
yeah, we should have done. I don't know. I guess in hindsight, we should have woke him up or something.
I kind of thought they'd be kind of like this fast forward, like 8 hours or something. Then when everyone went miscellaneous, but it just happened that he went on the ship, and what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it just kind of worked out.
You gotta play it as a play it. So yeah, it's no big deal. But Longer's gonna be a little surprised when he comes out. All these questions. Dio's gonna be pissed off, banging stuff, generating heat. Because it was gonna be like, what the hell? Why did I like these people? But
yeah, Theo's the perfect dad for it,
Yeah, and
they can communicate by heat.
Yeah, by heat. Right? If he has a temper tantrum, you don't have to worry about.
Yeah, that should help.
Or the captain could freeze him.
That's kind of, not the same sort of nurturing behavior, though.
One's the Punisher, the other one's the Nurturer.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
That was
But here, I kind of think that I believe that he would look at it as not just he has the hate that everyone else has. I mean, remember it slashed into his arm, and he saw it stab Theo, and Rohirrim always plays Colt, where he's, the crew is the most important thing to him. So these are kind of just, creatures to him. And then part of me thinks that, maybe he would look at it more of an analytical kind of, if this is how the race is, then that's how the race is, I don't think he wanted to kill it, but he wanted to definitely study it longer. If he could slow it down, its growth rate. Like, I don't think he would want a 16-foot or, 5-meter tall thing to study in the ship. But, yeah, and they had invaded prior, so, I guess I had Rohirrim looking at them as ants, I guess. An ant colony, and they just kind of invade and take over, and that's that. So, but now he's kind of grown on Chopper a little bit. I think.
I think some of the most fun moments I've had as a GM in this campaign is role playing the Quay. I don't know, especially when they're like fucking pissed off. I just had so much fun with that. Like the scene where he ripped off the guy's head. It was like holding up for the camera and stuff. Like, I don't know, those were fun moments for me. I just get into it.
Yeah, he was almost like puppeting the head. Like, that's what popped into my head when we were talking about him earlier. I'm like, no, these guys are evil, man. They popped that guy's head off, and he was like, blah blah blah. I'm talking to you, human. Ha ha. And I was like, no.
That's why.
Certain point of psychotic there,
Yeah.
That's why Theo got a little pissed off at the end. He's like, look, we went through all this trouble to give back Young. We had no idea that you all are, like, butthurt over this other group. And now you're just giving us crap after we just negotiated you a home, and now you're going to treat us like this? No, forget that. We're going to do this the Maverick way now.
You know what, for Quay, though, from what we've seen, they kind of did it as nice as probably they possibly could as Quay.
Yeah, they didn't impale Kazuko or anything.
Yeah, but the leader punched you, but that was more of just, I think, a sign of, you're wrong. This is how I generally tell you you're wrong. It just happened that poor Kazuko's not the size of a giant Quay.
Yeah, that's...
I mean,
that's
and they
like
let us go. They could have swarmed us, and, you know what I mean? There was no...
Oh, yeah.
So I kind of feel... how they deal with their interracial thing. Like, we blow each other up. Like, if a Gunjan battleship runs into another battleship, they'll blow each other up. Maybe we won't drink their blood, but... Then again, we don't... It seems awful to us, but to them, that just is normal,
I actually was trying to roleplay them, like, holding back a little bit, so...
They showed impressive restraint. Really.
Oh, yeah. I concur with that, but I also think this might be an interesting time to do some cross-cultural analysis on the ship when we get back, because we'll probably be talking about this, and then we'll probably have to look back at our own history, because technically on Earth we've actually, there are tribes of humans that have done this, like drink the blood of their enemies and stuff. So we can say, well, I guess we're more alike than we want to admit.
Yeah, they're just a darker side that we, said is uncivilized. Then again, we can't walk around in space, and we don't generate our own fusion bombs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we don't really we don't construct what were they called? Trigenium powered NWODs.
Well, you got a whole colony of NWOD fuel. Yeah.
You get a whole bunch of Quay lithium. Now that we have it.
If you whisper that into faceplate's ear, he might start nodding. Oh, you got some...
I don't think I want to do that. I'd just be dooming the Mavericks to like an eternal warfare with them. Come on, guys, we gotta get some more fuel. Just round them up.
Yeah. Like, did we even? I mean, we don't. I don't know anything about the Quay. I didn't read any of the book on them or anything. I saw a couple pictures, but that was about the extent of it. So, I mean, we just went off on a tangent on their whole biology. I don't even know if any of that makes any sense. So.
I'm sort of doing that too. I'm kind of making them my own as we kind of go through things, and yeah, they're probably a little bit more disturbing than what's in the books, but not by much.
Yeah.
So.
It does make sense that there'd be like a trigenium element to them, given that they headed towards Ganymede.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice little turn of events. I kind of like that a lot. So, you can start looking at them as a natural resource at some point.
Yeah, Chopper, come here. I need to plug you into the generator.
Where's the IV tubes? Come on.
Yeah.
I think that would be an interesting way to threaten them. Be like, well, I mean, you can attack us if you want, but we will just use the whole lot of you as fuel. Just let you know.
I was kind of joking around too. I put the 3D printer at the bottom. You can start cranking off copies of choppers and just drain them full of. You know.
Gosh.
Will that actually work? Will it create a material that we have? It just basically does it by the DNA, right? So. Yeah,
maybe that wouldn't work that way then. Maybe he'd be devoid of trigenium then, which would probably not be so good. Maybe it wouldn't even work.
Yeah, maybe they have to be alive or I don't know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll be collecting. We have a whole bunch of bodies stored in one of these boxes.
Yes, you do. You have some fuel.
Excellent.
Tradable resource. Any final thoughts, anybody?
Yeah, I just think that would suck to be if you were a resource for another race. That would be awful. Kind of like the Ozers and the Fraggles. It's like the Ozers keep building and the Fraggles eat all the buildings. Like, maybe a poor example, but that's what popped into my head.
Go ahead, Phil.
I'm looking forward to next session, most definitely. I can't wait to see Longbeard up and about and awake. And I can't wait to head down and start doing some talking with Faceplate, because Theo is now feeling a little bit more paranoid about these Quay, and he's like, I think we should. He's gonna do some stuff.
Next session, Theo and Longbeard break the campaign. which can't be broken, really, because I don't have any tracks. But
I have this entire.
It's the only way to be sure.
Like as soon as we did that session with the NWOD, when I was at work and stuff the whole week, I kept thinking about how if I actually did get a hold of it, how I was gonna like repaint it. I'm gonna give it Maverick symbols. Where the NWOD mask was gonna be, there was gonna be like a metal skull there with like the bottom jaw. I was going to do all that.
Gonna have a reality TV show called Pimp Your NWOD.
As you can see here, I added spinning rims. Yay!
He's got shiny
power core and put in a Quay power core, yo.
Well, most people think a jacuzzi is too much. I said added 2.
You know, for symmetry.
NWOD's big enough for a jacuzzi, maybe.
Yeah, you could have a couple in there. All right, guys, I gotta start heading out here. So.
I go back out, pull up stuff out of the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
David, fun. Stupid yard.
David and John are like, please don't stop talking to me.
Keep talking, guys. Yard. It's dark at 7. What?
I'm so lonely.
Just need to sprinkle some of that clay acid on it.
Yeah, that'll take care of it.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
All right, guys. I'll talk to whoever's here next week.
Okay, you guys enjoy your weekend. Talk to you later.
Y'all have a good weekend and good gaming, guys.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, folks.